Yeah, I think we're recording now. Awesome. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining in on a Friday night. Means a lot to both of us that you guys could make it a day before Glenn releases the album. So I'm really excited. I've had the tracks with me since yesterday, but I've been a very good person and not really click play. So I'm just eagerly waiting to do that. But before that, Glenn, what was your inspiration behind this album?
So yeah, talking about it, so the Thazhnna Thudakkam, the name obviously from that I started with came from Pumbate, like basically first time I used Thazhnna Thudakkam. And yeah, like so the whole reason why I put that was it's more like a throwback, looking back at my journey as a musician and how I've come so far. I've kind of given hints at stuff that I've been part of before, be it a band, whatever, everything's there. All the genres that I used to do, everything's been kind of hit off in this. Then apart from that, uh, what else? I mean, like I was talking about this yesterday to you. Scottappan Vibes and the sequel, we actually Dan and I started it off like mid last year. Scottappan Vibes 2 and their separate album and we had like 5 to 6 tracks done, and we had like a couple of feature artists, really big ones as well. And but I kind of felt like a comfort zone like I could continuously make the same vibe, same music with the same vibe, and I was just like, see, I'm not challenging myself as an artist anymore. So I think that was like the point where I realized, nah, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I could be doing something bigger if I try to push myself a bit more. So in that comfort zone with what can I do? So that was like the whole idea. And I have this sound now, this whole Scottappan sound, which is inspired off of Travis Scott. Now, how can I kind of use that, make something that's me now? So I do journey on this album basically. And to be honest, how I started this album off was right in between the making of Scottappan and Thudakkam. So when Kieran and IKV and we were doing Scottappan and Thudakkam, Devinte ഒരു track ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു I Come in Peace, which he was a producer. So our track I was like, okay, now the way I Come in Peace was done was also very new. It was not like it's not your average track. The production was something so different. So our track, I don't know, like, kind of clicked me, yeah, this is what I can do. I can create something completely new. So started there, and then I'd say like till 2 weeks ago, we were sitting and continuously getting this album done, be it the whole write-up side of it, lyrics part of it, even recording, like till a week back, we were fixing up everything and like finishing the album up. But yeah, really glad I finished it, and I really wanted to put this out like at the completion of 1 year of Scottappan Vibes. So it's like, hey, I did this like last year. This is me this year now. So yeah, it's been an insane journey so far, and really grateful to have all the producers that I've had in this album. Is in what I've done. At least personally, when I look at it, it's something so different. And that was the challenge as well, because different producers from different genres coming together, and I have this one idea and I have to kind of make it all cohesive, like it has to all work together. So it's something new, and I hope everyone likes it.
So what you're saying is that it's very different in a lot of sense to Scottappan Vibes, right? I mean, it's not just the Travis Scott, like you were obviously known as the Mallu Travis Scott and all of that, and you didn't want that label to kind of stick in. You have more in you as a musician to show, right?
Yeah, I would say that's like the core of it, I would say, because 2 days back, when Rax went live, I had said this statement, which I really like a lot as well, was that you should never give an opportunity to someone to kind of put you in a box and be like, yeah, this is what's going to be coming from that dude. So this is what I expect from them always. Like, our expectation with what can I do? And me as an artist, source of living, Allah. So I don't have to be so bothered, or I mean, not saying I don't consider what people want to listen to, but the fact that I have the opportunity to kind of take risks and do something that's probably not what people want to do here or like want. That extra opportunity that I have, that risk-taking element, for me, it's kind of important that I use it up. I'll do the waste type or other, like take it up, challenge myself, and see what I can do. So it's pretty much what I've done with this so far.
Cool,
But
man.
yeah.
I'm really, I'm really pumped to listen to this. So should we play the intro, the first track?
Yeah, I guess. Let's go.
Awesome. So I hope you guys are ready. I've been waiting for this since yesterday, and it's finally time to do it. So I'm going to share my screen. Glenn, just let me know if it's visible.
Yep, it's I can see it. And yeah, before you play, this track was produced by Bob, one of my childhood friends. Insane. Like I started off with this guy. My first EP was with this guy, and yeah, today also he's here. One of the executive producers of the album as well. So overall, yeah.
Bob is a guy that I'll never forget because Scottappan vibes, you have an intro kind of section where he talks about, getting goosebumps while he's, taking a shit and stuff like that. So that's something that I'll never forget. But yeah, man, really looking forward to it. And I'll ask you more questions on the track once we listen to it. Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. So let's do it. In case the volume's a little less or anything, just put it in the chat and I'll try to fix that. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh shit. it plays automatically, so I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. But yeah, coming back to this track, man, the high note was something that was not expected, but yeah, it was, it was something really different. And this on this track, right, when you release the what do you say, you release like a description of what each track means, and you were talking about this track kind of has the overall mindset that you had during the production and your inspirations and all of that, right? So yeah, I mean, if you look at inspirations, like obviously Travis Scott is one of them. So what are the other reasons why this whole thing came into play?
So for this album, so like to reference I always have like references in my head when I'm doing stuff, and be it design or music, anything, I always kind of have references that I'm working off of. So for like Scottappan vibes, I remember it was more or less Astro World and your sound. That's kind of what I was kind of leaning towards. And this one kind of rodeo, Facebook rodeo and stuff like that. So it's more raw, more distorted, like it's more of those raw kind of stuff. And that's kind of what I wanted to aim for. Then apart from that, another artist that I've been listening to a lot, and I mean obviously whatever you listen to is gonna inspire you and kind of influence you throughout. And another artist that I've been listening to is from India, Pradeep. And I was going insane over his recent like drop, which was Tabia, and it came out like a couple of weeks back. And to me, I mean, even though I started working on this like way before, I felt like what I was trying to do was, I mean, what he did is like probably I've done like 1/4 of whatever he's tried to do as well. So like how to that level of being so different from what everyone else is putting out in their scene currently. So our approach, I mean, like, so songs like Amar, Maya, Dofa and all has been like, I've been listening to for a while now. So Adake here and there has influenced, so എല്ലാം കൂടെ വരുമ്പം, yeah. And then apart from that, like I said about like in the description, the track kind of within this 56 seconds that I used for the intro, it has like everything that I'm going to do in this whole album. Be it the whole distorted vocal effects, be it the whole switch between like beats suddenly, and like even the themes that I'm talking about, like it's kind of hinting at everything, and then you kind of go from there. Yeah.
And totally different question, but ipo oru varshayi, tomorrow oru varshaavum since Scottappan Vibes came out. So another thing that I was wondering is that when you look at your growth from then to now, like do you feel like now you are solid musician in this scene? Have you ever felt like that, or do you not even think about stuff like that and just put things out there, that's it? Or do you feel like, okay, now I am like, just to give you an example, like if you feel like you're on a pedestal, then you feel like you shouldn't disappoint anyone, you shouldn't you should do things that they like, that kind of feeling, right? I know that you have done experimental stuff here, but at any point did you really feel that, okay, this is, I've actually made it to some extent when it comes to Malayalam hip hop?
I don't like probably not that kind of point of view, but it's more of I want to do that. Like I want to bring something new. Not like I've done something that I'm great at. Like but instead I mean there's always room for improvement. There's always room to find new things. There's always room for like creating new stuff. So I mean I'm more focused in that direction than being like okay and all that thing. I mean because dude, at the end of the day, no matter whatever industry or occupation, whatever it is, and you think you've reached somewhere, and be at the top or whatever. I mean, it's easy to fall, and and you have the higher you go, the bigger fall you have. So the chances of like the the consequences or like the effect of the fall is going to be bigger when you're way high. So, ഞാൻ ആ ഒരു സൈഡ് നോക്കാറേയില്ല. Like that's something for people to put up, not something that I would kind of put for myself. But I like personally, I know I've been doing a lot and I'm happy and I'm like glad the journey that I've had so far, and I know I'm improving in all the aspects, be it like even if it's one step, it's still an improvement. So, yeah,
definitely. And I think this whole album, right, when I went through the descriptions of the tracks, one thing is that you always talk about humility, being humble, not having to put down someone in order to get up there or do better, right? That's always a theme that you've had, and it's obviously visible. Your humility is obviously visible, and yeah, man, I mean it's amazing. So shall we move to the next? Shall we move to the next track?
Sure. Yeah,
I think that was a good. Yeah.
No, so ഈ ട്രാക്കിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയാനായിരുന്നു. This is Day Day Day. This is with Ashley, and Ashleyയുടെ കൂടെ like I've made, I think one of the first producers that I worked with in the Malayalam scene was Ashley. We still have three, 4 songs unreleased from first time we ever collabed. And then we did Rap Sundari with him, and so Rap Sundari production, and how great of a song that was. So you kind of can expect what's coming up next. And but yeah, I'm so glad this happened, and like Ashley kuda idallade vera rendu track kuda undu ee album. So yeah, really happy to have him in that one as well. And this, even just, I mean, a description wise, this track is more or less inside of the folklore, the Karugara Karmagil.
Right.
And so that kind of takes on this story about like a rain and stuff. It's more about that kind of setting. And I've kind of used my steam of fire instead. So it's like my kind of spin on that track. Inspired off of it, but yeah.
I think in all of your tracks, if you look at something that's a signature of GWS, then adil thee undu by default, right? And here I think in this track,
Yeah.
you also talk about transition from water to fire, but I think we listen to the track and then,
Well,
see
it's
how
good, yeah.
you do that. And yeah, when you talked about Trap Sundari, where ഒരു question വന്നായിരുന്നു, Trap Sundari version 2 വരുന്നുണ്ടോന്ന്. So can we expect something similar in, one of these tracks that you've done with Ashley?
No.
Okay. Straightforward answer. Awesome.
Straightforward.
Awesome. So I'm gonna play the track now. Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. Wow, man, that's really, when you said Karugara Karmugil, എനിക്ക് ആദ്യം ഓർമ്മ വന്ന അവിയലിന്റെ ട്രാക്കാ. Like, that's a song that I, from my childhood, ഇത് കേട്ട് വളർന്ന ഒരു ട്രാക്കാണ് when you look at Malayalam tracks, right? And dude, this is really different. I can already feel, how different it is from your usual. So is this one of those experimental tracks that you consider in this album?
Yeah, I mean, talking about that whole part of it, album, if you look at the track list, there's an interlude in between, which is by the Knox, which I'll talk about later as well when we reach there. But in general, the album has kind of two sections to it, separated by the interlude. So the track right before the interlude is Enikku Ariyam, and then the track right after that is Enikku Vendi. Kind of hinting at like whatever before the interlude is more like what people kind of expect. It's just the general structured song where you have a hook, a verse, a hook, bridge, LM. Our structure of the song that everyone's used to is maintained in those songs. So pretty much it's the basic formula to creating a track and what most people would vibe to and enjoy. And then the whole second part of it, right after that, is the hardcore, extreme experimental stuff where it's pretty much like, this is literally my whole abstract concept that I'm trying to put into songs now. So that approach. But definitely, Ella Partlum, there's that experimental touch to it. Like, none of them are like, hey, this is definitely what I would normally do.
Yeah.
I've gone that extra mile in every track where I'm just like, okay, how can I make it different from what I normally would do? Like, so usually when I make a song, it's like beat take modern flow and like idea of tracks. I've kind of pushed myself a bit further. I'm like, apart from my usual stuff, what can I do? Like, not the first thing that comes to my head. I'm trying to push myself to create an extra idea now. So, yeah.
Awesome, dude. Like, I can really see this as, one of the tracks that I'd vibe to any day. It's that kind of a track. And to some extent, I also feel like, there's a little similarity to Avial. I don't know, maybe that's just my feeling. But their sound, right? They have a particular sound that they have. So to some extent, you see parallels between this track and that track as well.
So yeah, this is another thing that I wanted to talk about, like, and the journey as a musician. I started off playing piano and guitar from a young age. And when I was in 9th, 10th, that's some the school, okay, we used to play, and I used to be in this band called KL7. We used to do cover music basically, and we used to play AVL tracks, Thaikodam tracks, and it was always Chekele and there's this thing Kanda and stuff from Masala Coffee and stuff. So we used to literally do a lot of rock covers and stuff. So our influence on the album, where I'm bringing a lot of my rock distorted sounds in as well. So overall, this is literally, if I could convey my whole musical journey into an audio format, this is pretty much everything that I've done so far.
Awesome.
So yeah.
You guys can still see my screen, right? I think something happened in between. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, big shout out to Ashley. I think he's here on the call as well. Great job, my man. Amazing. So yeah, I'll move to the next track. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it 1 second. Yep. Okay, and this track is, what's the name of this track? Ardumni, yeah, and this is Bob.
This is with Bob, yeah. And like this is the one where we have a beat breakdown right after we listen to the track. Devin's kind of gone quickly over the project just to share with you guys like the process behind it and have a look at the project as well. So yeah.
And this track also talks about the challenges of being an NRI and having to write in Malayalam, right?
So like ever since I joined, started making music in Malayalam, like one of the main critics I get is the fact that my lyrics are very simple or that they don't have a lot to it. So, but I've still somehow managed to kind of use that simple part of the script that I have kind of into an advantage where people can easily say what I'm trying to say. Like I can hear and easily understand. They can just sing along right after I repeat it once. So our thing is kind of there, and then I'm talking about that a bit in this track as well.
Yeah, that's something that definitely relates. I've always got a lot of criticism for talking in like Manglish kind of a thing, but it's just natural, right? I mean, for different people, you think in a different language, and when you speak it out, it's just really different. So I think this is a real thing, having a challenge of writing in Malayalam. So yeah, man, I mean, as far as it vibes and it's good music, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, there are people, we have always spoken about this, there are people who are there in the scene to write hard stuff, and there are people who are mostly to entertain and to vibe, and random manam, you need that balance, obviously. Yeah, let's go to Ardumni.
എന്റെ പാട്ടുകൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ ഒത്തിരി അറിവൊന്നും വേണ്ട ഞാൻ പാടുന്ന പാട്ടുകളുള്ളിലേക്കാൻ വേണ്ടത് തുറന്ന മനസ്സാ മറ്റുള്ളവരെന്ത് പറഞ്ഞാലും ഒന്നിനും നിർത്താൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്നെ ഒരിക്കലും പിന്നെയും പിന്നെയും ഞാൻ പാടുന്ന തുടക്കം പിന്നെയും നീയും പാടും എന്റെ കൂടെ നീ തന്നെ എന്റെ കൂടെ
Wow. That's again really different from anything I've heard so far, and it's that Malayali oru touch definitely ഈ ട്രാക്കിനുണ്ട്, and you straight up say that എൻ്റെ lyrics it's just the way it is, right? So
yeah. Wait, let me see. Bevan, are you here?
Yeah,
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
What's up, man?
can you guys see me? Hi.
Yeah, we can.
Hey, we can see you, man. Dude, amazing job.
Thanks.
I've always heard Glenn talk about you, and growing up together. Did you ever think that you'd be doing something like this when you started a small band and
No,
KL07 and stuff? Yeah.
No, it was not even like a thought that came into my head. This is like just for fun. We used to do in like school and like Parli and all. We used to like be like, oh, we party it, and then we would just like build and like, make tracks. And we wouldn't like be like too like serious about it. But then like, we made that EP, and then the feedback that we got was kind of like rewarding. So yeah, that was nice. Yeah, from that point onwards, it was like, yeah, producing can be a very it's a, even if it's not like a very like hoity-toity profession or anything, it's a very it's a profession that you can consider going into and making a living off of if you're really into it. That's what I took out from this.
Is that something you are considering in the future to do?
If I fail on my studies and stuff, then maybe.
So this is Samarikatilla, yeah. I mean, unless you show something solid enough, it's obviously difficult, and the scene's still growing up. All these things definitely come into play. But was Glenn the same, from the time you know him, like the same kind of, he has a very, I don't know, I wouldn't say funny, but there's a particular vibe that this guy has, right? So
like the one thing that attracted me most towards Glenn was because like when we were in tuition, he used to like write a lot of like verses because he was so inspired by Eminem at the time, and he would just keep writing verses down. He would show it to me. I would be like, yo, it's actually really good. You should just keep doing it. And then now he's come up to this level.
But
and I'm kind of
other English learner,
full English learner. Full English learner. Malayalam. I actually never expected Glenn to be this good with his Malayalam words and stuff. Yeah, it's a big surprise.
I think he's definitely put in a lot of work into that. So
I'm very proud of him for that though. Congrats, dude.
Glenn, Glenn, let me ask you this. For anyone, there are a lot of people like us, who are NRIs, who are born and raised. Like now, in our case, all three of us were born and raised in Bahrain. Okay. So I have two questions. One is, how do you develop, that skill to write in Malayalam when, you have very less influence, your only influences maybe chelappo Malayalam padam kaana paattu idakke ullu nammada oru influence, the friends that we have around us, even though Malayalis, a lot of the time our interactions are in English, and that's the way it is, right? So how do you develop that skill, and you've done that in a short period of time?
If I were to be super honest, ഞാൻ അവശനായി കോട്ടയത്തിലേക്ക് എഴുതിയ സമയത്ത് I used to not even listen to Malayalam songs. Like I don't know, I was never really drawn towards it. I never saw like any really cool stuff that kind of drew me in. Like I mean, it's probably my fault. I never noticed it. But so അന്നേരം ആവശ്യത്തിനെ കോട്ടൻ്റെ ഒക്കെ എഴുതുന്ന സമയത്ത് all the Malayalam words that seemed like couldn't come from me were literally Google translated. So yeah, it took me a while to make sure Avashnai didn't sound all over the place, because I had to make sure it sounded like Malayali wrote it, but I was sitting in Google translating whatever I wrote in English now. So that was even the thing was, I didn't even ask anyone's help for it. Like deliver anyone, like I didn't tell my dad, mom, or anybody that I know who's older and like who have better Malayalam knowledge. I did it, I wrote it up, I finished everything, I recorded everything, and then I put it out, and then I sent it to them, and they're like, I'm like, Google on. So I mean, see, that's the thing. Like when you're like focused, you can do anything. Like it doesn't matter what skills or what equipment you have. Like there's always means to go ahead and do things. So
Hello.
it's all about pushing in. So yeah, I think we have like a beat breakdown for this as well. So
Yeah,
that
we do.
kind of
And
talks about everything.
yeah, I'm going to play that. But before that, one last question. Natarajan sirinte ട്യൂഷനിലാണോ നിങ്ങൾ ലിറിക്സ് എഴുതി കേട്ടിരുന്നത്?
So Bevan left right after 10.
Okay.
So 11th and 12th ഞാൻ like എന്തുവായിരുന്നു, I was in Nataraj's place.
Okay.
So അതിനു മുമ്പേ we used to go to these tuitions together, and it was like at this teacher's house, and അവിടെ ആയിരുന്നു ഇതെല്ലാം ഇങ്ങനത്തെ പരിപാടികളുണ്ട്.
Yeah, parents pay for you to learn, and then we do this, right? So
പഠിത്തമൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, പഠിത്തമില്ലാണ്ട്.
Awesome. So I'm going to play the beat breakdown real quick. Just give me a second. Yeah, I think this is the one. Okay.
Hi, this is Arduino's beat breakdown. I had used a sample called Valley of the Kings from Thematic Sparrow Beta Pack. Yeah, and I just chopped up the space note and played it according to the chord progression. Yeah, and then it goes to the hook, which consists of the bass line and chopped up bells. The bells actually were this, and then it goes to the chopped up bells. Yeah, then that's the bass line with the bells, and I added this hi-hat pattern to get the groove going, and then build the drums on top of that. Yeah, and then it goes to the hook. I wanted the sound to be really bass heavy, so I just went for a weird 808 bass line. The drums together sound like this. And then it goes to a smaller breakdown before the second verse with the flute and drums. We needed a breakdown before the second chorus hit, so that it hits a bit harder. So yeah, this was a breakdown. Yeah, and for this 808 pattern, I put a gross beat plugin with a volume gate on it. Yeah. This is the intro. I was thinking of half timing the sample, but half time doesn't play all the notes when you half time it. It plays the first two notes. I mean, the first two bars in a 4-bar loop and stretches those 2 bars to 4 bars to make it sound like a 4-bar loop. I don't know if you guys got that, but yeah, I didn't want that, so I just pressed it to like double its length, so it plays every single note, but in a half tempo. Yeah, and then it goes back to the sample here, and for the transition into the sample, I took out the high end, low end, and put some effects for the thing. Yeah, that one. Yeah, and that's basically it. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Hi,
Okay, awesome. I don't know what's. One second, guys. Yeah, sorry guys. So, Bevan, I want to ask you, how long does it take to, I mean, when you actually listen to the track, you don't really realize the number of elements that go into, making something like
Yeah,
this. There's a lot of stuff happening.
yeah.
So, what is your process? When you guys work together, you guys obviously have a very good chemistry, right? Knowing each other for so long. So, what is
Yeah.
it like when you guys work together? What's the process that I know everything is not the same, but usually how does it work? Like, does he give you the lyrics or you give him the beat, and then how does that?
Yeah, usually with me and Glenn, usually it's like I make a beat, and like if it's something that I know that he will vibe with, and I'll just send it to him, and then he'll maybe like do a verse and a hook, and then we'll see if we're like happy with the structure of how the song is going, and then we'll expand on it, and then change a few elements here and there to make it sound more unique in its own way. Yeah, that's how our process usually is like. And as to how long it takes, there's been a running joke since like Scottappan Vibes 1 that I only take 10 minutes to make a beat. And I took a screenshot of the
Yeah, we
amount of
have
time.
that.
And yeah, I just refreshed the working time and I waited for 10 minutes just to make it like that. Yeah. I mean, actually, in before I did that, it said like I just worked on it for like 5 days or something. It didn't take like a long time for this because the sample was the one which carried the song. Like I just had to get the groove going. Yeah. That's yeah my side of how I made this track.
Awesome. Glenn, you have any any insights that you guys had while you guys were making this track when Bob is here? I mean, he's obviously going to be here, but in case you
Yeah.
want to ask him something right now.
No, I mean I barely remember when we made this because like see from here album the means been a while since we've been working on this, right? So and like if I remember right, the intro because that was also done by Darren. The intro was
Right.
actually longer. There was more lyrics in between. But
Yeah.
we cut it out. Yeah, we cut things out. So that was the thing. Like the chumma எழுதி தீர்த்துட்டு அல்லாയിരുന്നു. Like everything, we kind of went back, and even in this track, Dan had inputs as well, where like the second verse that break and all was kind of
Yeah.
told by Dan
So,
like what to do and stuff. So it was like Bevan and Dan as executive producers, like they had like a say in every track. Like they were telling me like, yeah, this works better. Try this, do that. So like yeah, these guys have like literally, even though like I do the mix and master and stuff, everyday input is like super valuable to me because doing an album, like especially trying to keep that whole team together, it's not just one person. I can't do everything as well, and like it always becomes better when you have more ideas in as well. So,
Definitely. Yeah. And
yeah,
like-minded people and all of that. And
exactly.
especially
Yeah,
since you guys have, been in the game for a long time, even though it was maybe doing covers or, stuff like that, it obviously
yeah,
shows, when there's something someone you really have a good chemistry with. And I've said this with Dan also, you guys definitely have a thing, right? There's, and three of you were the main guys who worked on, Scottappan Vibes also. So Bob, last question to you before I let you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Was it a big surprise to you the way Scottappan Vibes was accepted as an album in the scene?
Yeah, kind of. Because like Travis, like talking about Travis Scott as such, like my friends don't listen to Travis Scott. Like my friends are not like very rap oriented
Mm-hmm.
people or like trap oriented people. So like when before putting this album out, I had like this kind of like thought where like it might not be accepted because auto tune either. But then we did it because we wanted to do it. Like no one else had
Yeah.
done it at the time. So I mean, after the album came out, the kind of feedback that we got, it was kind of nice and like showed us that there is a niche for like these kind of music. So
Mm.
and which kind of like pushes us to like keep making these kind of music for people to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that feeling, like that feeling to know that people are listening to our stuff is kind of rewarding. They want to listen to us. Yeah, that's kind of rewarding for all of us. It seems.
Yeah, and I think one of the main reasons that I got into listening to Malayalam hip hop, one was obviously Trap Sundari. That was one of the
Yeah,
tracks. Cotton Duke was another, and then when the lockdown started, I think around March, right? It was the same time when the
yeah,
album came. So the
yeah, yeah,
lockdown in India started. I think I started working from home from 16th March. So
yeah.
any other second where I'm doing something really monotonous, I had one of these tracks always playing, and I was really amazed at that time because I didn't know anything about this scene. Okay, this thing even existed, and to see that there's so much quality music coming out of these guys. And then I hit up Glenn and we spoke, and then I realized that this guy's from Bahrain and all of this. It just blew my mind that these things are actually happening, because when I was a kid 10 years back, when I was like your guys' age, I wouldn't have even imagined, probably playing a little bit of keyboard here and there, or that's the extent of, where our
Same.
musical this thing goes.
ഞാനും ഇങ്ങനെ
Yeah.
കീബോർഡ് ഒക്കെ തുടങ്ങി അത് വിട്ടു ഗിറ്റാർ തുടങ്ങി അത് വിട്ടു ഇപ്പം പ്രൊഡ്യൂസിങ് ഇസ് കമ്പാരിറ്റീവ്ലി ഈസിയർ ബിക്കോസ് ലൈക്ക് പിയാനോയും കീബോർഡും ഇച്ചിരി മ്യൂസിക്കൽ നോളജ് ഉണ്ടായതുകൊണ്ട് it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to like navigate through the interface now. So like I'm very grateful for that aspect as well. Yeah.
And I think Pallile choir obviously has helped
Yeah,
you
Pallida
guys
choir,
also.
harmonies and all. Just yeah, my A to Aids and all are like getting those middle notes between the root notes are all from like choir harmonizing and all. That's yeah. Everything plays a part. Like you realize it like way later.
All these small elements come together,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing, man. Thanks a lot. This track was amazing.
Thank
And
you so much.
we'll probably move to the next tracks. And I know you're going to be here, so we can, pull you
Yeah,
up whenever. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. So, Glenn, the next track is Party Party, right? And that's again Ashley is the
Ashley,
one who's actually produced this. And the story
yes,
behind this is again you talking about anything under the sun can actually be conquered if you have
yeah,
that persistence and you're willing to work really hard, right?
yeah. Yeah, themes are like already something that I've talked about already. But
Mm.
track, this was one of the tracks that I got like crazy response from when I had put it up on my story once.
Mm-hmm.
I had put like the hook of it, like a bit of it, like on my story, and people were just like, "Whoa, what is that?" So yeah, kind of excited to see how people take this track as well. Like obviously the E track. So with the three tracks that I've done with Ashley, two of them were me telling him kind of, this is my idea, can we do something like this? And
Mm-hmm.
this was one where in between all, while making the other two tracks, he sent me this beat, knowing that this was gonna be something that I would, love to do. So I'm gonna send you it, and I immediately jumped on this. And I want to mention another thing. A big shout out to Aryan in detail. Aryan is my roommate from LA, and
The guy who gives you the haircuts, right?
yeah. So yeah, ഇതിന്റെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് Aryan and I had literally planned a whole video shoot for this track, and we had plans of I had plans of flying to Dubai because he was in Dubai at that time, and shooting the whole thing in Dubai. We went through we put in the time to actually sit and kind of have like a whole like setting for the whole track. എല്ലാം ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരുമാതിരി ചെയ്തു വെച്ചായിരുന്നു. But it's just COVID time, and traveling to a different country at that time, like it's not really feasible. So അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ കാരണം we had to kind of put it off. Uh, but yeah, really glad he's here also. He's here as well. Thanks for coming. And yeah, an extra thing that didn't happen.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm all hyped up now. I'm going to play this track, right?
Let's go. Can we increase the volume up a bit?
Yeah,
In
sure.
general, it's a bit low. Yeah. Sweet.
Okay, let's hope this works.
സൂര്യപ്രകാശം പോലെ എല്ലായിടത്തേക്കും ഞാൻ കയറി പോകുന്നേ ആക്കുന്നെത്താൻ പറ്റില്ല ഇരുട്ടിനും ഞാൻ കത്തും തിരിയല്ല എന്ന് നീക്കുന്നേ പാടി 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 ഞാൻ വീഴ്ത്തി അതിരുകളെ കടലാസ് പോലെ കീറി പുതുനാളും പുതുകാലം തീരെ വരുന്നേ പിടിച്ചു നിൽക്കണമെങ്കിൽ നീ മാറ്റി പിടിയ
This is something that really is going to uplift you whenever you actually need it. So it's that kind of a track, and obviously lyrics it's obviously about how you can do anything if you really put your mind to it, right? And something that I've always, I know, when you look at the age, you're still really young, but but something I've always wondered is like there are a lot ipo kore artists nammada scene il varunundu. Okay, something that they probably struggle with, especially in the beginning, is how do I know if I'm doing good? How do I know if I'm successful in what I'm doing? I'm saying, like, you probably judge the wrong things when you're starting out. So how did you kind of maintain wanting, rather, what do you say, how do you kind of make sure that you're on the track, even though in the beginning you don't get the numbers, things are not really working out in terms of people listening? And you have spoken about this before when Namra Samsarichappa saying that if you get when you got 150 subscribers, it was like a big celebration, right? What is it that you would tell anyone who's actually, and there are a lot of, I'm sure there are a lot of young artists on this call as well who have joined us. So
I mean, so like ഞാൻ തുടങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ actually, even though when Bevan and I made 5 stops in a drive-through, that EP that we actually put out first, അതിന്റെ response അത്യാവശ്യം നല്ലതായിരുന്നെങ്കിലും there were still people who said, it was like, meh, are you sure you want to do this? So, and as someone who's coming up, it's very, you kind of take it in really hard, and I actually had this small phase where I was like, shit, do I want to do this? Should I stop? Is this the right thing? Is it right what I'm doing and stuff? But actually, it was just the fact that I had like a really good friend circle, and like those guys still here with me. Few of them they've joined the call as well. Binoy, Shripad, and all these guys, like they literally, they see like this potential, or like as friends, like they support, and they're just like, "Leda, like you keep pushing, like you've got your shit, you just keep doing what you do." So it's about taking what you really need to take in,
Mm-hmm.
and then like whatever's like it's always gonna be good and bad, like no matter what you do. So even if it's bad, try to take it in a positive way, see how you can fix it. Otherwise, just let it slide. It's you're gonna get other point. Not everything should be taken in to your heart, and you have to kind of അത്ര ഇതിന് പോകേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. Like, and if you think no matter, and if there are people still telling you that it's not right, whatever, as long as you think it's good enough and it's what you want to do, just keep doing it. Like, there's always going to be like one or two people who's going to like want that stuff as well. So it's not everyone that you're trying to please. But yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly like when you put stuff up on YouTube, people hitting that dislike button no matter what, right? That's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
But how do you like, getting a little bit more into the granularity, how do you like manage? I don't know if you have really got negative comments once in a while, but if at all you have, or have you, let me ask you that first.
Definitely ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. When I put Avishna, I caught him, all those things. Whenever I first put it out, I used to get like shitloads of comments telling that the audio is insane. Like, you guys need to like either remove it or like tone it down like crazy. Like, what the hell are you doing? I used to get stuff like, bro, like the reverb is too much. You sound like you're singing from the bathroom. Like, angante kore comments ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. But then again, see, I used to take it in from there, and what I would take from that was not the part that people are hating on it, but the fact that what could I do to fix that? So
Yeah.
I am someone who wouldn't leave the autotune and do stuff. So what I would do is I would try to find that I would either try so hard to sing so perfect that the autotune doesn't sound like it's doing a lot of work, like fluctuating my voice around. Or
Right.
I would learn or try to find that sweet spot where I would use autotune and sing as much as I can to kind of make it like ideal. And then with the reverb as well, I'm someone who used to put a lot of reverb in, and kind of learning when you need to put in the reverb and when to tone it down. So it's all a learning process, and like whatever people say is you need to listen to it, but at the same time, not literally. Like, try to read through the line, see what they're trying to say.
And it's also, I think, about turning something negative into something positive, right? You have obviously become a much better musician than you were a few months back, right? If you look at it, you're always learning, going forward, doing something different in this case. And yeah, man, it's amazing that it's really hard to do, especially because of social media. It's very hard to listen to something negative and turn that into something positive. So that was one of the reasons I was asking, because if a lot of people probably even come to you, Edaki, a lot of artists even come to me saying that share, can you share? But it's maybe not about the numbers in the beginning. At least you have to put in so much effort to get there in order for, and people are just going to do that when they really like your music. It's just going to happen. But I think till then, like you always say, put in the work, hustle.
It's hustle. It's hustle.
It's all.
And like whenever people send me stuff, I try to listen to everything that they send. And if it's something that I see there's potential, I reply back and I try to give them an input. Like, be it like that, hey, you have potential, you could do this better, or that. But like whatever, if I reply, I'm literally telling you what to do, like from my point of view. And I'm always trying to help. But I scenes on certain stuff, and that's because I don't think it's great at all. And like, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings about it. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. But yeah, then again, see, what the way I think might not be the way that you want it, like you're trying to put it out. So then again, don't take that as like a bad thing. Like, maybe I'm not your listener. I'm not the one that you're supposed to be kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, I was actually going to say that, like, you have a particular audience when you do something. You have a particular audience, and the initial maybe few people who come in are probably not those people who are your who love that kind of music. So yeah, just keep going, put in the work, hustle. That's what it's all about, right? So awesome, man. So I want to move to the next track, which is Swapnam. Again, another track that talks about Ashley, and again, in some ways continuing the same theme that you had in this particular one, right? Awesome. So I'm going to play it. Yeah.
കണ്ണടയ്ക്കുമ്പോ കാണുന്ന സ്വപ്നം ഞാൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ യഥാർത്ഥം പണം പ്രസിദ്ധി എന്നും വേണ്ട ഉള്ളതെല്ലാം ദൈവം തന്നതാ കണ്ണടയ്ക്കുമ്പോ കാണുന്ന സ്വപ്നം ഞാൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ യഥാർത്ഥം പണം പ്രസിദ്ധി എന്നും വേണ്ട ഉള്ളതെല്ലാം ദൈവം തന്നതാ തേൻ പോലെ ഒഴുകുന്നു എന്റെ ഫ്ലോ തിര പോലെ വരുന്നു വാബോന്തക്കോ എന്നെ പോലെ വേറെ ഇല്ലല്ലോ എല്ലാവർക്കും എന്നെ പോലെ ആവണം ഇനി നോക്കിയാൽ there's only one തകർത്താൻ നോക്കിയാൽ it won't happen to be where I am എടുക്കും സമയം അടിയുണ്ടാക്കാനൊന്നും പോവില്ല അതിനായോ നേരമില്ല തനിയെ എത്തണം ഉയരങ്ങൾ അതിനാരെയും വീഴ്ത്താൻ ആവശ്യമില്ല ശരിയായ ഞാൻ തെറ്റുകൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് അതിനായി ഞാൻ ക്ഷമ ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് ഇവിടെ എത്താൻ പാതി ഭാഗ്യവും പാതി കഠിനത്വാനും കൂടെ അരികെ നിന്നവരോടും എനിക്ക് നന്ദിയും ബഹുമാനവും ആരും കാണുന്നില്ല ഇതിന്റെ പുറകെയുള്ള ധ്വാനം ഒരിക്കലും മാറാക്കില്ല എന്റെ തുടക്കം
Again, a completely different vibe from the other one, even though the theme is the same, right?
Yeah.
Amazing, man. I actually really loved it. The problem, that I'm seeing right now is I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, but for some reason I've always loved, the music that you create. And even though, when we spoke in the beginning, right, before, I think a month back when we spoke about you doing something really different and all that, you said you're not sure if people would really vibe to this or if it's something, but I really think it, like, just like the mindset that you have, you don't even have to worry about it. I'm sure that people will, like, see, I've been, someone who's been listening to this for almost a year, and this is again, right up there, man. Amazing stuff. And I want to ask you a question that had come in, on Instagram. So it's from Paul. Okay, he asks, can Malayalam hip hop and rap make a breakthrough in national and international scene? In the bracket, he is like optimistic question. So where do you see this going? Yeah,
dude, this is going places. Like, I mean, like with recent stuff coming out, like Enjoy and Jamie and stuff like that. And it's all from South. It's like it's breaking like places, like into places. Like it's going crazy. And I'm like, we have crazy artists down here. I mean, be it Vedan, Tirumali, Rax, everybody, like producers also. Like, I mean, the versatility that we have here and the amount, like the talent we have here is insane. And just that we are a bit slow. Like our community is a bit slow to this whole thing, to accepting it. That's why it took like this long for people to come up. Like street academics, okay, അന്നോട്ട് തുടങ്ങിയ കാര്യങ്ങൾ അച്ചായൻ ഇവരൊക്കെ എന്ന് തുടങ്ങിയതാണെന്നറിയാം. But like ഇപ്പോഴേ അതൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് എല്ലാവരും like അംഗീകരിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയത്. So it'll take time, even though like there it is right now. But like things that I see where this is going, it's big. And for me to be a part of it is like the biggest thing to me. So yeah,
definitely, man. I mean, if you just look at the last 1 year, അതിൽ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് actually കാണാൻ പറ്റും എന്തോരം പുതിയ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. You can actually see that in front of your eyes, it's happening.
Pandake, I mean, like couple of years back, for like music videos to get like million views and all, it's like insane to us. But now tracks are coming out, and like artists like Neeraj and all, like any track that they put out is straight millions. Like it's crazy, like how things have changed within a year. So and with a lot more people like supporting the scene and like artists like this, it's definitely gonna go up. There's no going down now. Like it's only straight ahead.
Yeah, and okay, did Glenn get disconnected?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought your internet went off in between. I just want to read one comment before we go to the next. Someone who's been in this scene for a very long time, Rax.
Yes.
Dude, like Rax is again, someone that I really look up to in terms of, being in the game for so long, doing what he's done, hustling consistently, man. Dude, thanks a lot for making it here. I know you would for Glenn, but thank you so much for coming on. And he also obviously believes that just what you said, right? This is definitely going places and it's just a matter of time. So yeah, it's good to see this whole scene grow, man. Amazing.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So the next track is from one of the guys that you've been with for a very long time, right? With Dan, and the name of the track is Thazhnna Thudakkam.
Yes.
So what's the story behind this? Yeah.
Thazhnna Thudakkam, again, like if you read the whole description, I'm telling about everything. Apart from that, like right after this, like Dan in the moon tracks had a picture straight 3 continuous ones. So like I've gone hard like continuously with him. And like Thazhnna Thudakkam is, I mean, I would love to talk about it after we listen to it.
Sure. Let's not
see how it's gonna go. Yeah.
Sure. So I'm gonna play that right now.
എല്ലാം കയ്യിലുണ്ട് സോ ഒന്നും വേണ്ട നിന്റെ പടക്കം പൊട്ടി അതൊന്നും വേണ്ട എല്ലാം കയ്യിലുണ്ട് സോ ഒന്നും വേണ്ട നിന്റെ പടക്കം പൊട്ടി അതൊന്നും വേണ്ട റാപ്പറല്ല ട്രാപ്പറാണ് സോ നീ നോക്കണ്ട കളി തുടങ്ങിയ പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വേറെ ലീഗ റാപ്പറല്ല ട്രാപ്പറാണ് സോ നീ നോക്കണ്ട കളി തുടങ്ങിയ പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വേറെ ലീഗ സമാധാനം പുറത്ത് കട്ടിക്ക് മലയാളം അറിയില്ലെങ്കിലും പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ ഞങ്ങൾ കയറി കുഴയ്ക്കും അവിയൽ പലയെല്ലാം ഒരുമിച്ച് കേറ്റും ഭാരി അങ്ങ് തേക്കും സ്കോട്ടപ്പൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട് 1 വർഷം ബാക്കി ഇനിയും പുറകെ അങ്ങ് തുടരും എവിടെ പോക്കം നിന്റെ പൊക്കം നേരെ നോക്കും നിന്റെ തോക്കം നേരെ ചുണ്ട് സമയം പോക്കും എല്ലാം കയ്യിലുണ്ട് സോ ഒന്നും വേണ്ട നിന്റെ പടക്കം പൊട്ടി അതൊന്നും വേണ്ട എല്ലാം കയ്യിലുണ്ട് സോ ഒന്നും വേണ്ട നിന്റെ പടക്കം പൊട്ടി അതൊന്നും വേണ്ട റാപ്പറല്ല ട്രാപ്പറാണ് സോ നീ നോക്കണ്ട കളി തുടങ്ങിയ പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വേറെ ലീഗ റാപ്പറല്ല ട്രാപ്പറാണ് സോ നീ നോക്കണ്ട കളി തുടങ്ങിയ പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വേറെ ലീഗ ഞാൻ നിന്നെ പോലെയല്ല താങ്ങ തന്നെ തുടക്കം തമ്മിൽ കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല വേറെ ലീഗ് വേറെ സീൻ എല്ലാവർക്കും എന്നെ വേണം പക്ഷെ തരില്ല വേണ്ടിയ ബഹുമാനം അത് സീൻ അതാണ് സീൻ I left unseen ഞാനാണ് തീ വേറാരുമില്ല തന്റെ സീറ്റ് രാജാവിന്റെ സീറ്റ് switch the beat in 1 2 3 എല്ലാം കയ്യിലുണ്ട് സോ ഒന്നും വേണ്ട നിന്റെ പടക്കം പൊട്ടി അതൊന്നും വേണ്ട എല്ലാം കയ്യിലുണ്ട് സോ ഒന്നും വേണ്ട നിന്റെ പടക്കം പൊട്ടി അതൊന്നും വേണ്ട റാപ്പറല്ല ട്രാപ്പറാണ് സോ നീ നോക്കണ്ട കളി തുടങ്ങിയ പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വേറെ ലീഗ റാപ്പറല്ല ട്രാപ്പറാണ് സോ നീ നോക്കണ്ട കളി തുടങ്ങിയ പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വേറെ ലീഗ
So many beat switches, huh?
But yeah, that was one of the like I still remember when Dan sent me the beat and I did the whole beat. Like he did the beat switch obviously in the beat it was there, and then I took like the approach to the beat switch also differently, and I did a different kind of flow there, and then he was like, "Whoa!" So I get it, and we just built off from that. And if you guys when this drops tomorrow, and when you guys listen to this in the best quality, if you guys like listen very closely, you can hear Dan singing for the hooks, and the outro is Dan as well. And like, yeah, so big shout out to him as well, apart from the production side. And Dan, like, Ada, why don't you come up, man?
Yeah.
Mute.
I think Dan sang his first track on Cry with Double J, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, I never knew that he had that side, of him, because you've never really heard of it till, Cry came out. So is Dan here?
Yeah. He's here.
We have
commenting stuff.
we have a beat breakdown also. So hey, Danny boy, what's up?
Hey, what's up? How are you guys?
What's up? Good, man. How are you?
I'm fine out. A lot of people on the call, 31 people.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, because last time I think when we did it, we had like a smaller number, but I mean, and everyone's actually been here since the start. So thanks, guys, and we hope we are not boring you guys. I'm sure it's been interesting, otherwise you wouldn't have stayed. So amazing. Thanks a lot for staying. Thanks for being on the call. So Dan, what was your experience, man, working on this?
Okay, speaking of, if you're going for this track, I think I've mentioned almost everything in the beat breakdown basically, but it was one of the random beats that I made, but I really felt like, because I knew Glenn was working on this album, and I knew the entire theme of it because he had explained it to me like 1 or 2 weeks before we had really done this track. So once I made this, I kind of thought that Glenn could actually do something really great with it. I sent it to him. Initially, he did not vibe with it, but as he kept on adding stuff to it, he was like, I think this should really go into the album. And then he kind of built off that. So that's like a small backstory of the track, like how we made it. And
this is literally what I was talking about, like how in the usual channel, like when I heard it first, normally when I take beats by, like when I hear it first, I'm like, I understand, this is what I'm going to go do with it. But this was that one beat that, like, these are like the type of things that, like, I tried to use in this album, where like things that I probably wouldn't take on my first like here, like other edit, what can I do now? So Anganta approach throughout the whole album. And we have the beat breakdown as well.
Yeah, so. I'll just ask you both one question. Both of you guys have to talk about this. There's again, when you made the description for this track, you say that a lot of people ask for features, collabs and all of that, but a lot of the time respect is not really there. Respect is due. So what did you really mean by that? What is the disconnect that you're talking about in this track?
I mean, in general, like sometimes you sort of feel like certain things get taken for granted. Like, be it production side, producers in the effort on them, be it like an artist who's featuring, or be it anything that you're doing in like contributing for a track. Some like, I mean, there are like, from the times that I've started, that I've had situations where I felt like I've kind of taken for granted, and like obviously we have a lot of scenarios which obviously I don't want to bring up, but hinting at it again, like talking relevant stuff, and like at least this way people are aware about it, and hopefully not have to go through it, and people don't treat them the same way. Like that was pretty much the whole thing. Like, I'm trying to talk about relevant stuff now. Usually that's another thing that people say, like since my lyrics are not too deep, the things that I talk about are also just like on the surface kind of things. But I'm just like, how can I convey something deeper, or like a bit more deeper than what I usually do, but through lyrics and stuff, like through the type of lyrics that I write and the music.
Yeah. Dan, you guys, I actually thought when I listened to Scottappan Vibes, when I didn't really know you guys, this much, I actually thought that you were also one of these guys in the crew, like, Bob and Glenn, knowing each other for so long. Yeah. So when you guys met for the first time, like, tell me a little bit about that experience, you guys coming together. How did that happen? You being in a whole different country, you were in Dubai, and I think Glenn was in Bahrain, right?
Yeah, and how was that? I forgot.
Oh my God, really?
No, I think the first proper collab we did was Trap Sundari. Like, I heard his stuff and I was like, I need you on it. I need that. track
Yeah.
vibe that you have.
Yeah, no, I
But
remember.
yeah,
He just randomly texted me out of the blue, and it was like, bro, we should collab. And I was like, because even I heard his track Kavashana at that time. It was like it was popping. I was like, yeah, we should do something. And then from there, it went on to doing so many other tracks. Other than we have so many unreleased tracks as well. And yeah, that's that.
I mean, it's crazy to even actually like even now to me, it's still unbelievable that we haven't met in person. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
we like you at one point like when I was in LA, even though, like especially when the college എല്ലാരും സമയത്ത് like it was all online. We used to like get on like video call every day, like straight like രാവിലെ ഉച്ചയ്ക്കും വൈകിട്ട് എല്ലാം ഇതിന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. And like
doing
straight up
random
playing
stuff.
games. I mean, his mom will walk in between, and I'll say hi to auntie. Auntie will say hi to me, and like it's like as if we know each other for like from like years. Like പഴയ പണ്ടത്തെ അറിവെന്നുള്ള ഒരു ഇതിലായിരുന്നു.
It's amazing how things can come together, right?
But yeah,
What are the chances?
yeah.
Amazing. So, Dan, I'm going to play the beat breakdown now.
Okay.
Awesome. Are you ready? Awesome. I'm going to play it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Dan here. Back for another breakdown. So, this track was actually made a month back, I'm guessing. And actually doesn't have a lot of elements to it. As you can see, it looks like a very simple track. And in fact, it was a simple track. We wanted to keep it like that. So, yeah. So, let's get to the elements. So, what I laid down first was this simple chords, which sounded something like this. That was that, and then I added like a very small melody, which none of you are going to really hear it because it's going to be in the back. So I don't know whether I should play it or not, but it's all right. Let me play it. That's that, and after that there's this one main thing which is throughout the entire track which plays. You hear it. It's pretty dominant in the track. Sounds like this. It's basically like an alarm type thing, but it's like this. So that's that, and then moving towards the first hook or the verse, right? So basically the drums sound like this. So that's the drums, and yeah, so that's about it for the verses and the hooks and stuff like that. So if there are any changes in between, it's just beat pauses and all that stuff. And I've added this 808 slide thingy over here, which sounds like this. Hopefully, my lag is next level. Yeah, so moving towards the highlight of the track, that is the breakdown section, which sounds like this. Wait, ഇത് തന്നെയാണോ? Yeah, ഇത് തന്നെ. Yeah, so this is the portion where the beat switches. So basically here I just added chords which sound like this. Normal pad sounding type thing. And to help that, I kind of switched up the drum pattern a bit, which would sound something like this now. So yeah, that's about it, which keeps going on there. There's a few tweaks here and there. There's this vocal chop. I think I cut it out from Glenn's vocals, which are something like this. It's very annoying, only this thing is. Yeah, but this is in the back as well, so none of you guys are going to hear it really well. I mean, I'll play the drums with it. So that's that, and that's pretty much the track. And yeah, I think for the outro, there's this portion where I kind of did a sample for the track, and then this vocal sample that is sounds like this. Yada atrolo. Finish. Stop recording.
Yeah, man, Dan. Yeah, I'm sure he kept that purposely. So
There's a lot more stuff that you could have been put, but like halfway through, I told him to, do you want to re-record the whole thing, because like he was like really messing around a lot.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
Amazing stuff, man. So the next track is also you and Dan. The name of the track is Samadhana Parathu. So I'm gonna play that and then ask you guys a little bit more about it. Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. So yeah, here we go.
And I'll wonder what you need, and I'll wonder what you seek, and I'll wonder what you need, and I'll wonder what you seek. ഒത്തിരി ആശകൾ പാട്ടുകൾ എൻ്റെ തലയിനുള്ളിൽ പുറത്തേക്ക് ഒഴുകി വരുന്നു ഓരോരോ ഫ്ലോവിൽ ബീറ്റൊക്കെ മാറ്റി പാടുന്നു ഞാൻ പാടുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്നെ കുറിച്ചാ നോക്കിയിരിക്കാൻ എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടം I can't do that no more. Good vibes മാത്രം but they don't like to spread, oh no. രചനമില്ല പ്രശ്നങ്ങളൊന്നും വേണ്ട ചാട വേണ്ട തലവേന ഒന്നും വേണ്ട സമാധാനം പുറത്ത് നീ എന്റെ ലീഗിന്റെ പുറത്ത് ഞാൻ എന്തും ചെയ്യും തോന്നും പോലെ നീയോ ആടും എന്റെ കൂടെ പത്തം ഭയങ്കരതും പോരാ ഞാൻ hit it ഒന്നും കൂടെ. Let's go harder, this the future. It's a major vibe, this the style. ഉയരങ്ങളെത്താൻ പണം വേണ്ട ഇച്ഛാശക്തി അത് വേണണ്ട സ്വന്തമായി എല്ലാം ഉണ്ടാക്കി ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ വന്നു എൻ വഴി മറ്റുള്ളവരെ പോലെയല്ല ഞാൻ ചെയ്യുന്നതാരും ചെയ്യാത്തത പണത്തിനും നേട്ടത്തിനൊന്നുമല്ല ഒന്നിനെ തേടി പോയിട്ടില്ല സമാധാനം പുറത്ത് സമാധാനം പുറത്ത് നീ എന്റെ ലീഗിന്റെ പുറത്ത് ഞാൻ എന്തും ചെയ്യും തോന്നും പോലെ നീയോ ആടും എന്റെ കൂടെ പത്തം ഭയങ്കരതും പോരാ ഞാൻ hit it ഒന്നും കൂടെ. Let's go harder, this the future. It's a major vibe, this the style. ഉയരങ്ങളെത്താൻ പണം വേണ്ട ഇച്ഛാശക്തി അത് വേണണ്ട സ്വന്തമായി എല്ലാം ഉണ്ടാക്കി ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ വന്നു എൻ വഴി.
There's this real fine balance between being humble but you're still confident, right, about your abilities, and that's something that I really noticed when you on this track, and you also talk about ഞാൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് വേറെ ആരും ചെയ്യാത്തതാ എന്നുള്ള you also talk about that. So how do you kind of as in you everyone has a unique strength, right? Finding that strength and going for it rather than always trying to do something that someone else is doing, the traditional way of doing things. That's again another message that you talk about here, and even taking risks, right? Because I think those risks are what really gives you the reward in the end, right?
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah, like, I mean, in general, I'm trying to say, like, it's just there, like, like, LM, you can do pretty much, like, if I could do this, you could do it. I mean, I'm not seeing myself something great because I have my weaknesses, I have my fair share of failures as well. But it's about putting in that effort and like trying it out. So if I could do it, you could do it. Anybody can do it. That's kind of the thing that I'm trying to say. So, yeah, and I think like E-Track and especially, the in between part, this beat switch, and I do this low vocal kind of thing, and I recorded it, and then I had put it in my first demo, and I sent it over to Dan, and then Eniki personally, since this is not my usual stuff, I was like, hey, the band, and I deleted the file out. I didn't even like mute it. I just deleted the whole file and I gave it to him. And then literally the night of uploading, Dan's like, no, I want it. I am like, bro. I mean, he's been telling me for the past few days, I remember, but I just couldn't get it to sound the way I had done it before. And then he was like, Illa, you have to have it. And like, without it, you can't upload it. And I'm just like, bro. I literally sat up. I think the day I was uploading it, I sat up till like 2 or 3 in the morning just because I was trying to record this and get it the right way. And I tried one version, sent it over. He's like, no. And then I had to go back in and then I had to record it again. And then he was like, okay, I think this is the one. And then I had to mix back out like right before I upload it, making sure everything is like perfect before I upload, and then it was a full send. Like if it's not the way we literally visit, the way we like, there's no half-assing in this. Even though I tried at some point, I was like, oh, bro, he's like, no.
And I think the next track is also you guys, it's kind of a partnership that you guys have had for a long time. It's, bringing that together. And I think, Dan, your sister's also, done something on this track, right?
Yes, she has a small bit, like a vocal sample type thing, which will turn into like a bit more than that. But yeah, I think when you listen, you'll get into it.
Oh, okay. So the name of the track is Tirige Vannu.
Yeah, and this one, this is the hook for it is something I wrote for Dan's Spit the Verse challenge, and the Spit the Verse challenge was in a minor scale, and I used the same hook, and I feel like I personally feel like it fit better in this major scale track, and yeah, and I don't know if people remember that track, but I don't have it anymore on my Instagram page. But anyone who remembers how it sounded would immediately hear it and be like, "Oh shit, that's a whole new take on that same thing." And then I have this verse where I'm like literally shouting Dan out, and like all my previous tracks, like small lyrical word plays and stuff. But yeah, like let's go into that next.
Sure, let's listen to that.
Feeling like so bad, no, yeah.
ഏറ്റവും തൊട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ back to back കളിയാണെങ്കിലും focus എല്ലാം നേരെ steady ഞങ്ങളെ തൊട്ട് കളിച്ചാൽ കാര്യം പോക്ക എന്റെ ഇരിപ്പിടം അതങ്ങ് ആകാശത്തില്ല cloud nine മേഘം താണം star പിടിച്ചെങ്ങ് വലിയ എല്ലായിടത്തും ട്രിപ്പ് ഫ്യൂസ് എല്ലാം എല്ലാം ലിറ്റ കയ്യിലുള്ള സനത്തിന് ഒടുക്കത്ത് കനമ മനസ്സങ്ങ് പറക്കും പൂമ്പാറ്റ കൂടെ എങ്ങ് പോരും പിന്നെ ഒന്നും അറിയില്ല 24/7 ബാങ്കസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാം 24/7 അടിച്ചങ്ങ് പൊളിക്കാം കൂടെ എങ്ങ് പോരും ഒന്നും തേടി പോകണ്ട വന്ന വഴി തന്നു തുടക്കം ഞാൻ ഒരുമിച്ചങ്ങിറങ്ങാം ഒരു ട്രിപ്പ് ജീവിതം ഒന്ന് അറിയൊരു തവണ തിരികെ വന്നു എവിടെ പോയില്ല ഞാൻ തിരികെ വന്നു എവിടെ പോയില്ല തിരികെ വന്നു എവിടെ പോയില്ല ഞാൻ തിരികെ വന്നു എവിടെ പോയില്ല
Damn. Awesome stuff, man. And Anne's really done an amazing job. So shout out to Anne. I don't know if she's here, but shout out to her. Anyways, you can let her know, Dan.
Sure.
Dude, first of all, Dan, like how is it that almost everyone in your family is, there's so much music coming out of this one family. So if you can just tell me a little bit about how that happens, how something like this happens.
I mean, as I said in the interview with you,
Yeah.
I have to do a lot with my dad's music background. Even his family, everyone sings, everyone plays the guitar, everyone plays the piano, everybody plays the keys. So, growing up, a lot of music was being playing around the house. So, I think that has a lot of influence on all of us, like me and my sisters. So, I think, yeah, that plays a very important factor in music.
Does your dad listen to the music that you guys, put out?
Yeah, I mean, most of it he does. And whatever I send him, he does, because few of them has like cuss words and stuff like that. So I try and avoid I try to avoid it, but the rest goes to him, and then he's always like, yeah, it's good. You can do this, you can do that. So he gives me like constructive feedback, more or less here and there. So then that kind of helps me also. But
And I think even Glenn, ningalellarium kuda orumichu you've done a track, right? There was a track where he played the guitar, if I'm not wrong. His dad, Dan's dad, yeah.
Yeah. There's this track called
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks a lot, man, Dan, for coming on. We'll hit you up soon. And the next track is Any Kariyam, which is, I think, Toxin,
Yes.
right? So Toxin
Yes.
is someone who's actually, someone I've been speaking to for some time. He's always, been a great supporter of your music. Also, he's been, part of even our, earlier days when you look at it, not too long back, but Scottappan and Thudakkam, he was there for the entire thing. And did you actually know him from then, and that he was a producer?
No,
and
I've
he used to-
actually known him. I've known him from before. Like we've had chats on WhatsApp before as well. And the funny part is, if I remember right, the track he beat and he kittanadum, he hit up Dan and he had sent. I think he had given made Dan listen to the beat, and I think Dan was the one who suggested like sending it to me. And like literally right when I heard it, I was like, hey, this could probably go into my album. And then I made the track, and then then yeah, this happened.
Awesome. So we listen to the track and then get to it, right?
Yeah.
Is Toxin on the call?
Yes,
I think he is.
Would love for him to.
Toxin, if you're there, if you can unmute.
Yes, I'm here.
Is that?
Hey, bro. You're seeing your bike, bro.
Oh my God! Are you actually driving?
No. I'm outside.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
How is it? How is it like working with Glenn?
ഇത് പറയാൻ അടിപൊളിയായിരുന്നു. ലൈക്ക് ഞാൻ ഒട്ടും പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചില്ല ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ട്രാക്കാണ് കിട്ടാൻ പോകുന്നത്.
Right.
ഞാനൊരു ഡിഫറെന്റ് ഫീല് പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചത്. Was out of expectation.
Awesome. Glenn, idilum, you kind of again, there's a lot of stoicism in some ways, in this track. The reason being that you're saying someday everything will be taken away, everything will fade, but the music will still play, right?
Yeah.
Is that a thought that you always have?
I mean, see, music and like art in any form is timeless. Like even after you and the artist and the art will be remembered because of the art that was made. So within the like the whole thinking process behind this, and then like apart from that, there was a lot of other things as well. Like there's this general tendency for artists or being in any field, once you create something and people really love it, then you always want to do the same thing. Like you fall into that loop of like, oh, okay, I know this will work. Now, if I keep making the same thing, people are gonna like be there supporting it. So that's what I say in between, like one of the main verses. Like ഇന്നലെ തുടങ്ങിയതുപോലെ എല്ലാം ഒരു ദിവസം അവിടെ എത്തിയാൽ പിന്നെ എല്ലാം അതുപോലെ ഉണ്ടാക്കാനുള്ള ശ്രമമാണ്. And like most people fall into that trap or that loop of trying to recreate things now. So like I've never tried making another track that is already like, see, the Cotton Duke was the track we never made. And I always get people like texting me like, bro, adu the track or Avashnai adu the track. I mean, yes, I do hit emotional or like these banger type stuff once in a while, but it's never me trying to, you know, generate the same stuff again and again. So yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to tell throughout. And like working with Toxin on this was like pretty new as well, because it was my first time working with him. And like we had like, you know, definitely we had like I mean, compared to Bevan and Dan, I had a lot more of going back and forth with him, trying to like get the ideal beat that I want. And but yeah, really glad to work with him and have him on the album. We have a beat breakdown as well. So
yeah, I think we'll go to the beat breakdown. But Toxin, amazing stuff, man. Like this is the first time I'm actually, I think it's the first time I'm actually listening to you, or I don't know if I have in the past, but really amazing stuff, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks
No
a lot.
problem. But ഞാൻ beat breakdown ഇപ്പം I'll just play that.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Toxin here. ഞാനിതാണ് നമ്മുടെ എനിക്കറിയാമെന്ന് പറയുന്ന ട്രാക്കിൻ്റെ ഫൈനൽ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ഫയല്. ഞാൻ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ മെലഡി വെച്ച് തന്നെ തുടങ്ങാം. ഞാൻ ഈ ട്രാക്ക് തുടങ്ങുന്നത് ഈ ഒരു ബേസിക് പിയാനോ മെലഡി വെച്ചിട്ടാണ്. സോ അതിന് സപ്പോർട്ടിംഗ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു പിയാനോ ആർപ്പ് കൂടെ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അത് രണ്ടും കൂടെ പ്ലേ ആകുമ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കും. സോ അതിൻ്റെ ട്രാക്കിൻ്റെ ഒരു മെയിൻ എലമെൻ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇതിൻ്റെ വോക്കൽ ചോപ്പാണ്. എൻ്റെ വോക്കൽ ചോപ്പ് ഇതാണ് സോളോ ചെയ്ത് പ്ലേ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ. സോ അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ വോക്കൽ ചോപ്പ്. വൺ ഓഫ് ദി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് എലമെൻ്റ് ആണ് ട്രാക്കിൻ്റെ. ആൻഡ് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ എന്താ പറയുക, കുറച്ച് സിന്ത് എലമെൻറ്റ്സ് കൂടെ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സെക്കൻഡ് കോറസ് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഞാൻ അതുകൂടെ പ്ലേ ചെയ്യാം. സോ ബേസിക്കലി അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ മെലഡി പാർട്സ് ഓഫ് ദ ട്രാക്ക്. ഞാൻ ഈ സെക്കൻഡ് കോറസ് ആണ് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്ത് പറയുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ലെറ്റ്സ് ഗെറ്റ് ഇൻ ടു ദ ഡ്രംസ്. ആൻഡ് ഡ്രം എലമെൻറ്റ്സ് എന്ന് പറയാനായിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് സാധനങ്ങൾ ഞാൻ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ എല്ലാം കൂടെ പ്ലേ ചെയ്യാം. സോ ബേസിക്കലി ഇതെല്ലാം കൂടെ വരുമ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ ട്രാക്ക് ഉണ്ടാകുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഇതിൻ്റെ എനിക്ക് ഒരു ഇയർ ക്യാൻഡി എലമെൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത് ഇവിടെ ഒരു ഗേറ്റ് എഫക്റ്റ് ആണ്. അതായത് സെക്കൻഡ് കോറസിൻ്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് പോർഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് വരുന്ന ബ്രേക്കിൽ ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു വോക്കൽ ചോപ്പിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഗേറ്റ് എഫക്റ്റ് ഞാൻ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് ഐ തിങ്ക് ദാറ്റ് കീപ്സ് ദി ലിസണേഴ്സ് എൻഗേജ്ഡ്. ഞാനത് ഫസ്റ്റ് പോർഷനിൽ എല്ലായിടത്തും ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സഡിലാണെങ്കിൽ കൂടി അത് എന്താ പറയുക, ഇച്ചിരി എഫക്റ്റീവായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് പേഴ്സണലി ഫീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ GWS did a great job and I'm so happy to be a part of his album. I hope the listeners do enjoy the track and that's it. Hey guys, it's Toxin here. And ഇതാണ്.
Awesome. We definitely enjoyed the track, Toxin. Amazing stuff. So the next track that we have is kind of something that breaks up the album into two, right?
Yep.
So it is the interlude.
This is the interlude with the Vinox, and it's actually my first work with Vinox. And like the first any sort of collab we've had before is he had done a remix of Cotton Duke. And but yeah, Vinoxindagoda, I've been a fan of his ever since Mare with Rax, and it's been an insane, like his whole sound is different, and like wanting to do a track with him was another thing, and to include him into this project was a bigger thing, and like putting it out. And so in general, Barnalum, this whole track was inspired by the SDP interlude by Travis.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you will definitely hear and understand what I've tried to do. But then again, this is for all those people who are gonna listen to it in headphones and stuff. Now later, when it drops in like higher quality, and you listen to this like in your headphones, it's gonna be like literally spaced out all over you, kind of thing. But yeah, serves a bigger purpose by kind of splitting the album into two different sections. Like I said again, ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ എനിക്കറിയാം parts before this, and then എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള ഭാഗങ്ങൾ right after this, and this is like the right in between there. Everything makes sense.
Awesome. So let's listen to that then. I think ഞാൻ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ proper quality കേൾക്കുന്നല്ലേ. So I can really feel the vibes, with the headphones. It's amazing, man. A beautiful track and good vibes, kind of very chill, mellow kind of track. So when you a lot of your tracks, right? Untitled Thudakkam that that's just something like that's just like a theme for you. So like, where did you find that? Was that also Google Translate or?
No, I think that just literally came right off of my head when I wrote Boom Bat Effect. And the funny part was the reason how I kind of, I mean, if you listen to like almost all the tracks have Untitled Thudakkam in it. And in this album,
that's the reason I was asking.
There was this one dude who indirectly like kind of told, not to me directly, again, came through another person. He was like, I use the Thazhnna Thudakkam a lot. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna use it in every track now. In my video. So that was the kind of thing that again, like, it was just me trying to take that and then trying to spin it around.
Turn it into something.
I mean, yes, it can become a bit too annoying sometimes, but hey, for me at least it works. I mean, so far the way I put it in, I personally don't think it's come like off too annoying. But then again, everyone's entitled to their own opinions and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, this track, I really hope you guys enjoy this, because a lot of this track has to do with the way the stereo spacing has been done. Like, so like in between where I'm doing the thing, it's literally like left and right.
Left and right. Yeah, I could feel
playing with your head when you're like, I mean, if you're intoxicated, it's insane. Like, literally boom, kind of feels. So yeah.
Amazing. No, it's I think even Vinoxinte കാര്യം, when we spoke the first time we spoke in the interview also, you said that Vinox was also one of your major inspirations while doing this. So yeah, shout out to Vinox, man.
Vinox, yes, big shout out to him. And I mean, apart from that, I don't know. I mean, now it's going to take a big, now you will notice the bigger.
Now is the shift, right?
Yes.
Even the name of the track, the next track is Eniki Vendi. So it literally says that, this is, so far it was, catering to, the usual stuff that you do, or, a lot of that. And now we can expect something really different from this album, right? Yeah.
Like from you could kind of pinpoint what a hook was, what like the verse was, what was like the beat switch bridge kind of area and stuff. But in your tracks, I've kind of literally deconstructed like the whole concept of what how you would generalize a song. So like normally if I'm a track and hook was like, what would it still be a track? Like what would it be? I would kind of approach that. So like and this was the first track I did in the album as well, NEQND. Like I said, either I come in peace for Scottappan I hit up Dave for an extra beat and started working off of that. And
awesome. So so this is another one of Dave's tracks. I think I Come in Peace was definitely a game changer kind of a track. When I listen to it, like the number of elements that he brings in is really next level. It takes you to a whole different realm kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to listening to this one. So this is Eniki Vendi.
കരുതുന്നു നടക്കുന്ന കുറയ്ക്കത് കൂട്ട് നീ നിർത്ത് ആരെ കാണിക്കാനതല്ല നീ കാട്ടിക്കൂട്ടുന്നത് ഞാൻ എഴുതി ഞാൻ പാടി എല്ലാം എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഇറക്കി അതെല്ലാം കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടുണ്ടാക്കി ഞാൻ എഴുതി ഞാൻ പാടി എല്ലാം എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഇറക്കി അതെല്ലാം കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടുണ്ടാക്കി ഇന്ന് ഞാനിവിടെ വരെ എത്തി ഇനിയും ഞാൻ അതിരുകൾ താണ്ടി എത്താനുള്ളിനുള്ളിൽ എവിടെയോ ശക്തി ഉള്ളിൽ നിന്ന് കൊണ്ടുവരും ഒരു രാത്രി മറ്റുള്ളവർ എന്ന് പറയും എന്ന് ഓർത്ത് ഞാൻ വളർന്നു ഒന്നിനും പോരാ എന്ന ചിന്ത എന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ അലഞ്ഞു പാട്ടുകൾ എഴുതി അറിയ വാക്കുകളും ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു എന്റെ ആശയങ്ങൾ എന്റെ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ എന്റെ ആശയങ്ങൾ
So much going on there, as just like I come with pieces, so much going on, and it's again amazing stuff, man. I mean, if Dave's there or if he's listening to this, shout out to you, man. Amazing stuff, really amazing. So this is again,
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. No, what I was saying is that it's again something where the theme is about getting out of pushing past the negativity to find your unique voice and go deliver that.
No, and I actually tell about how, like, when I started off, or I mean, like, I've always felt insecure to a certain point, like certain things. And it's a natural thing to feel insecure about stuff. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Or, like, it's about just believing. Sometimes it's not even about that. Like, sometimes you just have to accept that you're not good at that something. And like everyone has their own weaknesses and their strengths, and like maybe that thing is not yours, and you don't have to feel insecure about it by seeing someone else being good at something. So our general thing is there, So angante kora karyangalokkaanu like. So this, in general, this album is much more serious in the whole tone, concept, and everything compared to what Scottappan Vibes was actually, what it actually was. Because as it should be chill, let's have some fun, like higher approach. And this is like hey, this is
that's more like the what do you say? If that's the kind of track that you want to listen to when a lot of the tracks in Scottappan and Thudakkam, this is again a completely different vibe when you look at it. So and the next track is something I'm really, really excited about, because I mean it is the track Thazhnna Thudakkam, and it is obviously Arcado. So I'm really excited to listen.
This is a collab long overdue. Like we've had, like, I think we've finished, like, properly finished 3 other tracks, and like we have tracks from 2019 with, like, me and Arcado and I, and like we never put it out, obviously, because I don't know, it never came up. The situation never came up where we were like, okay, let's release this. So, but I hit him up saying, I have, and obviously this album is happening, and I need you on it. And he was like, sure. What all do you want? And I'm like, it is. And he was like, cool. I think I have some stuff. And then, like, immediately jumps on it and sends me stuff, and I was like, wow. Big shout out to a lot of people in this track. There's a lot of songwriting, like, credits that goes up here. You've got like the first track is like literally sampling Jay Surya from another track of his, and then like there's obviously Vinox and Rats Radiant in between. Mare, because Mare is one of those tracks that's very close to me. So literally sample that off. Then I've got another voice note from Rax that I've sampled that he sent to me when I sent him a demo of the track. And then I've got and then like I said, see, I used to play in a band that we used to do like all these rock metal covers and stuff. So I tried to, I wanted that metal literal sampling of that. So what we did was we took the Downtrodden, which is Sushin's band, and we sampled one of their tracks from it. And then I hit Munz up, who was like the lead singer. Yeah. And then I that was a whole other thing to go through as well. And then in the last part of it, we have Vishnu CV. He's a guitarist. He did like the Malayali acoustic version, and then the original First Love Nothing guitar was by Vishnu.
Okay.
So yeah, I was lucky to have him as well. Obviously, it came through Arcado. But yeah, അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറെ ഒരു stuff ഉണ്ട് ഇതിനകത്ത്. And then again, this is a insane track. Obviously, that's how it gave the title track title to it. But yeah, overall, this is literally emotional journey. This one track itself. So yeah.
Awesome. So let's listen to it then.
Arcado on the beat. തുടങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ കൂട്ടുകാർ മാത്രം പാട്ട് കേൾക്കാൻ 2 വർഷം ശേഷം എല്ലാം മാറി മറിഞ്ഞു കേൾക്കുന്നു ആയിരം കണക്കിന് ആൾക്കാർ ദിവസവും പക്ഷെ കൂടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നവർ ദൂരെ ദൂരെ പോയി മനസ്സിൽ ഓരോ തോന്നലുകൾ ചിന്തകൾ എന്നെ പറ്റി ഞാൻ മാറി ചാടക്കറി എന്റെ സ്ഥിതി മനസ്സിലാക്കി ഇപ്പോഴും ഉള്ളവർക്ക് എന്റെ നന്ദി ഞാൻ ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ സന്തോഷമുള്ള കാലം വരെ ചെയ്യും
ശരിക്കും ഈ ടൈപ്പ് സാധനങ്ങളാണ് ഇറക്കേണ്ടത്, മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത്. ഇത് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്ന ടൈപ്പ് ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട് ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട്.
ഒരു യാത്ര സന്തോഷം എന്റെ മന്ത്ര നേടാൻ മാത്രമല്ല കൊടുക്കാനും എല്ലാവർക്കും ജീവിതം ഒരു യാത്ര സന്തോഷം എന്റെ മന്ത്ര നേടാൻ മാത്രമല്ല കൊടുക്കാനും എല്ലാവർക്കും വേദനിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് തീരെ സ്നേഹിച്ചവർ തന്നെ എന്നെ പിന്നിൽ കുത്തി ഒന്നുമില്ലവർക്കെതിരെ എന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ നന്മ ചെയ്താൽ തിരികെ കിട്ടുമെന്ന് പഠിച്ചു അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇപ്പോഴും ഞാൻ ജീവിക്കുന്നു ഒത്തിരി ഒത്തിരി പാഠങ്ങൾ ഞാൻ പഠിച്ചു അതെല്ലാം ഓർത്ത് ഞാൻ ജീവിക്കുന്നു
You know, there's that emoji where it shows you that your head is exploding, right? That's actually how I feel right now. And I think Toxin actually summarized this whole track in one sentence, saying that this is like one whole album in one song, and that is so true. Dude, this was amazing. Like, there's so much going on, but at the same time it comes together really well. Like, it gels well, even though you have all these elements that you talk about, right? Made and Vishnu's guitar part and all of that. Was this really challenging for Arcado to bring so many things together?
No, actually, I think he found it much easier to do than I did.
Okay.
I mean, being that genius that he is with music, and I mean, he texted me. He couldn't make it today for the call, and he wanted to. He told me to convey his regards to everyone who joined. But he had actually much better. He literally had justification on how he did all the switches and stuff. So every switch is like some both the switches that are there in the track goes up by the same amount of like keys that goes up. Like, so it's like minus +3 and +3 and even the BPM switches up, and all that is like it's done in a way that it all makes sense at some point. Like, if you look at it from a different perspective, so there was a lot, and then he himself did the master from this track. Like, mix and master, but he wanted to do this one, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to say no to it. I mean, like, please. But yeah, like, it was insane working.
And
track of it. But yeah.
So the other thing, when I spoke to Anjali, when we spoke about this album, she said that there were a few tracks that were longer than usual. Like, usually it's always 2.5 minute, 3 minute, right? And this is like more 4 minute koodalundu. But the thing about it is, she said this, and it's actually so true that you don't feel that it's a longer track because you're in it throughout. So amazing stuff.
Like, usually I have this thing where I'm just like, how do I make this track longer? But the second half of this album, we were literally trying to reduce the tracks shorter, like making them short, like conversations, because we were like, again, this is so experimental, this is so out of what we normally hear, that I have no idea how people are going to take this in, because like, so like, this is literally me trying out something and like seeing how people are going to react to it. So I mean, at the track you would see like this whole thing happening again, and that's the J Studio, and even that's insane. Like, track when Arcado, when Anand was making the beat, he had to export like each beat section. He had to export it out because his computer would crash otherwise. Yeah. So it was insane, like being to work with him on a track like this, and like being able to put it out as well.
And you guys finally got to meet also, right? last month or something.
Yes, I did. When I had gone over for Neeraj in the shoot, first love in the shoot, and I had gone there. And I met Arcado the day before the shoot, and then again at the shoot we were together throughout the whole time. And but yeah, really happy to have met him, to have worked with him, and to finally put something out.
Amazing. And the next track is also of one of the veterans. If you look at it in some way,
two OG producers.
Two OG producers back to back. Talle Kalipale. That's the name of the next song.
I couldn't think of another name for the track.
It was quite convenient for you.
I'll be very honest. This track, the description, like when we dropped the track list out, this was that one track that we didn't finish from the album. When we put out the description, only 1 minute 30 seconds of the track was done. So we just put that out and we were like, okay, now let's make a track, because Jay was a bit busy as well, and then even the beat itself was so challenging for me, because normally, like I said, and then normal approach to beats are like, if I listen to it and then I vibe with it immediately, I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. But this was that one beat where I literally heard, and then I'm like, okay, bro, let me get back to you. Let me speak on it. I have no idea what I'm gonna do on this. So I'm going to repeat that, and he wanted to sample sample one of my tracks as well. So we ended up sampling Boom Bap Effect, obviously produced by Dan, and then we worked off of that. And then like Jay is here. I hope he's here.
I did see him.
Yeah, he is.
I did see him.
Yeah. We'll definitely have him come up and speak as well once we finish listening to the track.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play I'm just going to get into it, because I've always, when I spoke to Jay also on the show, I told him that, he's someone I just really love his music and the elements that he brings in. So, I'm really excited to hear this one. I'm going to play it.
The waves of me started a tsunami. looking up and I'm reaching the heavens. If I don't live long, then you know that I made it. Don't wanna die young, I wanna live as a legend. You know I'm alive, try to be different. Wasn't supposed to bring the sound on the table. Was on at first, but now they're relevant. Time and the styles constantly changing. Sorry for killing the competition. I came out of nothing and today I'm something. I came from the bottom, the fire was burning. Spreading all across, waves never ending. Don't let call it sounds. I know what's ahead cause it's already done. See into the future, visionary stuff. What can I say, what is done is done. This is it, yeah, my time has come. മനസ്സും കൂടുതൽ ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ വേണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടും തള്ളിപ്പുള്ളി ഗ്യാങ്ങല്ല കലമാൻ ഫാമിലിയ ഇങ്ങോട്ടൊന്ന് മുട്ടിയാൽ തല പിന്നെ കാണില്ല
Oh, shit. What just happened there, man? Like everyone saying they're dancing and, literally, if I could just get up and dance, dude, this was next level. Like, idile nammada Jaystellarinte, that signature is there, from the beginning, it's just there. You know that this is something that he's done. And I've actually, Instagram sessions, okay, when he does the beat breakdown and of a lot of these tracks, right? Even though I'm not a musician, I actually go and listen to it, and it's like mind-blowing. And this is obviously, again, a very long track compared to what you guys usually do. Pakshe, at the same time, it's Kidilowski. That's the first time I've used that word. Hey, Jay, bro.
Namaskaram. First of all, thank you for having me here, guys. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്ന സോങ്
ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട എല്ലാരും ഈ ആൽബം coming to an end നല്ലൊരു രീതി തന്നെ it's coming up. And bro, this was so beautiful. And കുറെ പേര് ഇതിൽ പറയുന്നുണ്ട് റോളർ കോസ്റ്റർ അപ്രോച്ച്, അതിനെ കുറിച്ച് കുറച്ച് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
ഗ്ലെൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഏറ്റവും ലാസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത സോങ് ആണ് നമ്മളപ്പോ അതിൻ്റെതായ കുറച്ച് സംഭവങ്ങൾ ഇതിനകത്തുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ബീറ്റ് ഞാൻ പെട്ടെന്ന് കൊടുത്തെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു ആക്ച്വലി. പക്ഷെ ഗ്ലെൻ കുറച്ച് സമയം എടുത്താണ് നമ്മളത് ചെയ്ത് കംപ്ലീഷൻ കുറച്ച് സമയം എടുത്തു. സോ സാധാരണ ബ്രോ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, ഞാൻ ഓരോ ട്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും അതിനകത്ത് ലൈക്ക് at times I try to overcome the artist, like I try to overcome the artist at times. പക്ഷെ ഈ സോങ്ങിനകത്ത് ഗ്ലെൻ completely bodied me. So
so is it like a competition spirit?
Exactly. This me fighting with Glenn, and it's like this is like a sonic warfare, where I'm sending Glenn something, he send me something back. I'm also sending something back again, and he's sending me something back.
Oh, man.
So the initial idea was to sample Thazhnna Thudakkam, I mean Poombate effect, the original song. സോ അതിൽ നിന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു 8 bars മാത്രം ലൂപ്പ് ചെയ്തു, എന്നിട്ട് അതിൽ നിന്ന് വേറൊരു സാധനം ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോ ഗ്ലെൻ പറഞ്ഞു ഞാൻ ഒരുപാട് സാധനങ്ങൾ ട്രൈ ചെയ്തു, ഒരുപാട് സംഭവങ്ങൾ ട്രൈ ചെയ്തു പറഞ്ഞപ്പോ he was like, okay, there is no limits, you can try whatever you want, bro, this is the last track, I'm giving you complete freedom, that is the thing. സോ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്ത ഒരു സോങ് ആണ്. സോ ഇനീഷ്യൽ ട്രാക്ക് ആക്ച്വലി 7 minutes ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു തോന്നുന്നു. പിന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ കുറച്ച് പോർഷൻസ് കട്ട് ചെയ്തു കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ചെറുതാക്കാനായിട്ട്. ആൻഡ് ഐ റിയലി ലൈക്ക് ടു ഡു ലോങ് സോങ്സ്, so I can experiment a lot of stuff, I can take you to a journey. അപ്പോ ഇതിനകത്ത് ഒരു സീംലെസ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആണ് ബേസിക്കലി. ഒരു സോങ് കേട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോ തന്നെ പെട്ടെന്ന് ആ പാട്ട് മാറി വേറൊരു സാധനമാക്കുന്നു, ഒരു ബ്രേക്ക് ഇല്ലാതെ. ലൈക്ക് It's like a roller coaster basically.
ആ ഒരു സ്വിച്ച് ഇല്ലാണ്ട് തന്നെ സ്വിച്ച് ആവുന്ന ഒരു ഫീലിംഗ്.
Yes, exactly. So ഗ്ലെന്നിന് പറയാനുള്ള കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങളുണ്ടായിരുന്നു ഈ സോങ്ങിനകത്ത്. അപ്പോ തള്ളെ കലിപ്പെന്ന് പേരിട്ടപ്പോ പിന്നെ I was also like, എന്നാ പിന്നെ let's go full crazy.
ഇത് ശരിക്കും ഈ വോറാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോഴുണ്ടല്ലോ, ഇത് ശരിക്കും നമുക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റി കേട്ടോ. രണ്ടുപേരും യു ട്രൈ ടു ഗെറ്റ് ബെറ്റർ ദാൻ ഈച്ച് അതർ. ആൻഡ് ആ ഒരു കോമ്പറ്റീറ്റീവ് സ്പിരിറ്റ് ശരിക്കും ഒരു പോസിറ്റീവ് സെൻസിൽ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്.
Thank you, bro. I think all credit goes to Glenn. Okay, so when he sent me the first beat, I was like, I don't know what he's going to do. I have no idea because this is something crazy that I've done. I never done a beat like this. I was like, okay, let me see what he's going to try. And he sent me something and I was like,
do you, when you work with a lot of these artists, do they come back to you and say that, bro, ഇത് എനിക്ക് പറ്റില്ല, എന്നെ കൊണ്ടാവുന്ന സാധനമല്ല എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ വരാറുണ്ടോ എപ്പോഴും?
അങ്ങനെ അധികം ആരും വരാറില്ല. ലൈക്ക് നമ്മളൊരു കംഫർട്ട് സോണിൽ നിന്ന് എപ്പോഴും ചെയ്യത്തുള്ളൂ. ലൈക്ക് we know what they usually, what's their style,
what they're capable of and what their style is.
Exactly. Yeah, so Glenn was like, let's push the limits here. So we push the limits here. That's what happened.
Amazing. And ഇതിന്റെ നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ബ്രേക്ക് ഡൗണും ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ I'm really excited to go to that. So അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ബാക്കി
that itself is like another 6 minutes long stuff, and Jay couldn't even get into the main stuff, like
actually മൊത്തം കാര്യം exactly മൊത്തം കാര്യം
പറയാൻ പറ്റിയില്ല. Okay, എന്തായാലും പ്ലേ ചെയ്യാം.
So hi everyone, it's your boy Jay. So Glenn and Roda ചെയ്ത song ആണ്. This is called തള്ളെ കലിപ്പ്, and I have to tell you it also sounds തള്ളെ കലിപ്പ്. So ഈ സോങ്ങിനെ പറ്റി പറയുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഗ്ലെന്നിന്റെ ആൽബത്തിൽ this is the last song that we did in his album, and when he released the track list we only completed like the first 2 minutes of the song. അപ്പോ ഈ സോങ്ങിനകത്ത് ബേസിക്കലി 3 പാർട്സ് ആണുള്ളത്. ഇതിനകത്ത് ഒരു R&B ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഫസ്റ്റ് പാർട്ട് ഉണ്ട്. ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫോളോഡ് ബൈ വേറെ ഒരു ജംഗിൾ സൗണ്ടിങ് വേറെ ഒരു സാധനത്തിലോട്ട് പോകുന്നു. അതിനുശേഷം കുറച്ചും കൂടെ മോഡേൺ സൗണ്ടിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ട്രാക്കിലോട്ട് പോവുകയാണ്. സോ ഈ ട്രാക്കിന്റെ ഐഡിയ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴേക്കും I wanted to sample something and we just only used one sample in this song, and that is ഈ ഒരു സാമ്പിളിൽ നിന്നാണ് ഈ സോങ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി മൊത്തത്തിൽ ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോ വേറെ സാമ്പിൾസ് വേറെ പരിപാടികളൊന്നും ഇതിനകത്ത് ഇല്ല ബേസിക്കലി. സോ ദ ഐഡിയ വാസ്, എനിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള സോങ് ഗ്ലെന്നിന്റെ ഈ സോങ് ആണ്, പൂമ്പാറ്റ എഫക്ട്. സോ പൂമ്പാറ്റ എഫക്റ്റിനെ എങ്ങനെ വേറൊരു രീതിയിൽ ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ തുടങ്ങിയത്. അപ്പോ ഈ ഒരു സാമ്പിളിനെ ബേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഇൻസ്ട്രുമെന്റൽ മൊത്തം പോകുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ കേൾക്കുമ്പോഴേക്കും വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ആണ്. നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് എലമെന്റ്സ് ഒന്നും യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. പക്ഷെ ഗ്ലെന്നിന്റെ വോക്കൽസ് ഗ്ലെൻ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന രീതിയിലും ആൻഡ് ദ വേ ദാറ്റ് ഇറ്റ്സ് മിക്സ്ഡ്, ആ ഒരു രീതിയിലാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ ട്രാക്കിന്റെ ഒരു കംപ്ലീറ്റ്നെസ്സിലോട്ട് എത്തിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോ ഓരോ 8 bars കഴിയുമ്പോഴേക്കും സോങ്ങിന്റെ സ്റ്റൈല് കുറച്ച് അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും മാറിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. നമ്മൾ വിചാരിക്കാത്ത രീതിയിലോട്ടൊക്കെ പോകുന്ന ഒരു പോർഷനാണ്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ബ്രേക്ക് ഡൗൺ something like this, ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള രീതിയിലാണ് ശരിക്കും ഞാനത് ചെയ്തത്. സൈബർ പങ്ക് സോങ്സ് ഒക്കെ ഒരുപാട് കേൾക്കുന്ന ആളാണ്. സോ ഗ്ലെൻ ഇതുവരെ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സാധനം ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. സോ ഗ്ലെന്നിന്റെ മനസ്സിലുള്ള ഒരു R&B സ്റ്റൈൽ അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം with my elements, that's what I wanted to work in this song. And I think Glenn just bodied my beat, because whenever I work with artists, I just try to lead the way, whether it's in the outro or in the intro or in the chorus. I just try to overwork the artist sometimes, but in this case Glenn just completely bodied me. This is a very simple beat, but when you hear it with his vocals, it will sound something like this, which is completely different. So ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ് സോണിക് എക്സ്പ്ലോറേഷൻ സോങ് പല പല മൂഡിലോട്ട് കയറി പോകുന്നു. സോ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഫസ്റ്റ് 3.5 minutes ഐ തിങ്ക് ഒരു ഫസ്റ്റ് സോങ്ങിലോട്ട് പോകുന്നു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് ആണ്. അതാണ് ഞാൻ കൂടുതലൊന്നും ഇതിനകത്ത് പറയാത്തത്. വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് ആണ്, കോംപ്ലിക്കേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടൊന്നുമില്ല. ജസ്റ്റ് ദി ടോൺസ് ദാറ്റ്സ് ബീങ് യൂസ്ഡ്, ദാറ്റ്സ് ജസ്റ്റ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി ഡിഫറെന്റ് ഹിയർ. സോ അത് കഴിയുമ്പോഴേക്കും നമ്മൾ സെക്കൻഡ് ഫേസ് ഓഫ് ദി സോങ്ങിലേക്ക് പോകും. BPM ഓട്ടോമേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് സെയിം സ്കെയിൽ തന്നെയാണ്. നമ്മൾ പാട്ടിന്റെ സ്കെയിൽ ഒന്നും മാറ്റുന്നില്ല. ജസ്റ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ആ BPM മാറി, എന്നിട്ട് അത് വേറെ ഒരു എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, ഒരു ട്രൈബൽ ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ജംഗിൾ ബീറ്റ് സ്റ്റൈലിലോട്ടൊരു സാധനത്തിലോട്ട് പോകുന്നു. So this portion is completely inspired from Future Sex love songs. I listen to Justin Timberlake a lot. So ആ ഒരു സമയത്തൊക്കെ ഇറങ്ങിയ ഒരു വൈബിലോട്ട് എനിക്ക് പാട്ടിനെ കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഓൾഡ് സ്കൂൾ ആയിട്ട്, എന്നാൽ അന്നത്തെ കാലത്ത് മോഡേൺ ആയിട്ട് സൗണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലോട്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് അങ്ങോട്ടൊരു എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ഗ്രാറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് കാണിക്കുന്ന പോലെ ജസ്റ്റ് ആ ഒരു രീതിയിലോട്ട് പാട്ടിനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നതിന് ശേഷം അവിടെ പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ പുതിയൊരു കണക്കിലോട്ട് മാറ്റുന്നത്. വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ബീറ്റാണ്, ബ്രേക്ക്ഡൗൺ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ഇതിനകത്തൊന്നുമില്ല. വളരെ കുറച്ച് എലമെന്റ്സ് മാത്രം വെച്ച് കളിക്കുന്നതാണ്. പക്ഷേ when you listen to the song completely, നമ്മൾ ഓരോ മൂഡ് മാറി മാറി വരുമ്പോഴേക്കും നമുക്കിതൊരു ഡിഫറെന്റ് രീതിയിലായിരിക്കും ഇതിനകത്തോട്ട് വരുന്നത്. സംതിങ് ദാറ്റ്സ് completely out of the world, so futuristic, egoist, dark music, ആ ഒരു രീതിയിലോട്ട് ഈ സാധനം പോകും. So this is the song, guys. If you want me to break it down, it's like a long process, but simply saying the song has 3 parts. It's like 3 versions of the same song that sticks together, and I think you guys will enjoy the song because this is like, I don't know, 5 minutes or 6 minutes, the final version. And first ഞാൻ ചെയ്തപ്പോഴേക്കും ഇത് ആക്ച്വലി ഒരു 7 minutes ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ബട്ട് ഈ സോങ്ങിന് ഇനിയും നീട്ടിക്കൊണ്ട് പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് അത് കുറച്ച് ലാഗിങ് ആയിട്ട് തോന്നാൻ ചാൻസ് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ് പല പോർഷൻസ് ഞങ്ങൾ കട്ട് ചെയ്തത്. സോ ഗ്ലെൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റിന്റെ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് എബിലിറ്റീസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. ഗ്ലെൻ സ്ഥിരം ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു സോങ് അല്ല, ഞാനും സ്ഥിരം ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള സോങ് അല്ല. ബട്ട് വി ആർ ട്രൈങ് ടു ക്രിയേറ്റ് സംതിങ് യുണീക്, ഗൈസ്, ആൻഡ് I think you guys will enjoy it. So listen to the complete album. Thank you, Glenn, for making me a part of this project. Last ചെയ്ത സോങ് ആണ്, ഒരുപാട് സമയം എടുത്ത് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്. ബട്ട് I think we created something new here, bro. Okay, so that's all.
We definitely enjoyed it, Jay and Glenn. Both of you killed it. Super ആയിരുന്നു. I'm actually waiting to ഈ കോൾ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം കൂടെ കേൾക്കാനായിട്ട് ഞാൻ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാണ് ട്രാക്ക്, because
you're lucky you can listen to it in
I can listen to it before anyone can.
But yeah, this was a crazy track. Like, so when he did the whole cyberpunk kind of based beat and stuff, I didn't want to leave it empty because that's something that I couldn't do anything on top of. So that's when I decided to have this loop kind of feel thing, like that I keep saying Thazhnna. And I didn't want to do like this usual vocal chop and I'm going to cut it pinna loop idarna parody cheyandarnu. So what I did was I actually sang that 4 bars each and then I looped. Okay. So I actually went through the thing like that process of literally saying Thazhnna 4 times each. And but that was the whole thing. Like, I wanted to make sure I was like true to it. I didn't want to like, oh okay, it's easier to say that, no. But yeah, small things.
This was a crazy track.
ഒരുപാട് സൗണ്ട് ഡിസൈൻ പരിപാടിയുള്ള ഒരു സോങ് ആണ്. Like when you hear
the way I told Jay what I thought about this track was I told him, like, if Arcado's track was an emotional roller coaster, this track was literally a background score for a movie. It's like insane, like.
Definitely. പൊളിച്ചു. It's just next level. Awesome. So I think we have one more track to end the album. So we'll go to that, and this is again, outro. This is again the new kid on the block, Rohan.
Yes.
Relix. Yeah. So I think we'll listen to it, and we'll talk a little bit to him also. Thanks a lot, Jay. Thanks for being on the call.
സീനിലുള്ളവരുടെ പകുതി എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് എനിക്ക് എന്നാലും കിടക്കട്ടെ ഒരു പിടിക്കൽ ശ്രമമാണ് വലുത് എക്സ്പിയുടെ കൂടെ കുറെ അക്ഷരങ്ങൾ അങ്ങ് ചേർത്താൽ എക്സ്പെരിമെന്റലാക്കി നമുക്ക് എടുക്കാം കാരണം തുടക്കം പിടിച്ചങ്ങ് എഴുതാം പോന്ന ഫ്ലോവിൽ നമുക്കങ്ങ് പോകാം ഒഴുകി ഒഴുകി വലിയ തിരയായി
Oh, amazing end to the album. I think Relix is also here.
Yeah. Oh shoot. I think I muted him off. But,
illa mute allandu.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey bro.
Hi.
Hey. So Relix is nammada idile scene le one of the youngest guys in the scene, right?
Yes, for sure.
How did you guys how did you guys start making stuff together? Like idengana orumichu vanna?
ഞാൻ ഫസ്റ്റ് GWS അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്തത്. ഞാൻ ഫസ്റ്റ് എനിക്കൊരു EDM ട്രാക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ അതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അപ്പോൾ GWS അപ്പോൾ ഈ സ്കോട്ടപ്പനും തഗ്ഗപ്പനും എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ആൽബം ഇറക്കിയിരുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അത് കേട്ടിട്ട് ഞാൻ കുറെ ഇൻസ്പയർ ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ ബ്രോനെ ഹിറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. അങ്ങനെയാണ്.
Yeah, he sent me this crazy track called Clouds. I made Bevan listen to it as well, and we were in the car listening to it together. And then Bevan was like, "Ada, what can you do on this track? Like literally, it was so good. Like there was no need for having vocals on it. Like and I literally texted him saying like, I was like, bro, I'll do something on it. And then I texted him back like a week later saying, bro, like literally I can't do anything on it. Like like you should just drop it as it is. Like it's too good. And then I was like, bro, if you ever come across, if you make another thing and you think it's something that I could do, send it over to me immediately. And I think within like 2-3 days, he sent me this beat, and I'm just like, yeah, done. I'm taking this, and we're putting this as the outro because I think this was like the best. I can't think of another track that could have ended as the outro for this whole album. And then again, even with this track, I went an extra mile. So by doing a no autotune verse. In the end, where I was literally trying to rap something that's way out of my comfort zone again, and angane.
1 minute mark കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് there's that again, there's a switch and things change, and that's where you're saying you did this, right?
Yep.
Amazing. Rohan, I hope you have a lot more tracks ഇനിയും കേൾക്കാമെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. വേറെ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റിനോടൊക്കെ വർക്ക് ചെയ്ത് തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
ഞാൻ ഇപ്പം പീനാക്കൊളാഡ ബ്ലൂസിന്റെ കൂടെ ഒരു ട്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ, പുള്ളി ഇവിടെ കോളിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അമേസിംഗ് സ്റ്റഫ് ബ്രോ. ഐ മീൻ എന്തായാലും മലയാളം സീനിൽ, നമ്മുടെ ഹിപ്പ് ഹോപ്പ് സീനിൽ യുനോ ഈ ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ തന്നെ ഇങ്ങനെ കുറെ പേര് ഉണ്ടെന്ന് കാണാൻ തന്നെ ഇറ്റ്സ് റിയലി നൈസ്, യുനോ ഫോർ പീപ്പിൾ ലൈക്ക് us who listen to the music, who really love the music. എനിക്കൊന്ന് ബ്രോന്റെ ഒരു ബീറ്റ് ബ്രേക്ക് ഡൗൺ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു അല്ലേ? ഓസം. സോ അത് ഞാൻ പെട്ടെന്ന് പ്ലേ ചെയ്യാം.
So this is the main sample I use for this track. Then I chopped it up like this. Then I added a bass line. Then I layered it with this beat. I added a tape stop effect here. Then it goes into a beat switch up here. I made an EQ automation here to create rhythm. Finally, I took another part of the sample and used the same drum beat.
Damn, amazing stuff. എപ്പോഴാണ് റോഹൻ ഇത് ലൈക്ക് യു ആർ ഓൺലി 18 റൈറ്റ് നൗ, എപ്പോഴാണ് ഇത് തുടങ്ങിയത്, ഈ ഒരു പ്രോസസ് ഓഫ് ലേണിംഗ് ഹൗ ടു ഡു ദിസ്?
ഞാനിപ്പം ഈ ഏപ്രിലിൽ 1 year ആവുന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ.
ഓ വാവ്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് സോ ക്രേസി. ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു ഒരു 4-5 വർഷമായി കാണുമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച.
No, the kid is not talented. Like I heard his first stuff and I was like, and like I want to listen to it, and even if it's like I can't listen to it at that moment, I'll go back and listen to it later. And he sent it to me and I listened to it and I was just like, dude, like this is mad talent, this is crazy talent right here. And I'm like super glad to actually have had him on the album and to give him that opportunity to, like, you know, put himself out there. And I really wanted him to come up in the call and talk as well, and even like do the beat breakdown. And even the beat breakdown, you actually see into the project and you're like, wow, there's like a lot of things that he's done, you know, like
he's done, yeah.
Like എനിക്കുപോലും അറിയാത്ത കുറെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ, like dude, that's insane. And like even if ഈ beat മാത്രം കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ itself, it's too good. Like you don't have to have a verse on it. Like I would listen to it like even without.
Definitely. It's something like that. Yeah, it has a lot of soul, you know, if you could call it that. It has a lot of soul in it. And Rohan, like full support. Like this is beautiful, this is amazing. And to say that ഈ ഒരു വർഷത്തിൽ ഇത്രയും ചെയ്തു എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ it's definitely mind blowing what you've done. So good luck with everything that you have coming up, and we are always here to support you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So this brings us to the end of this album. Glenn, I've always been a fan of what you have done of your music, and when you said that you're doing something experimental, I really didn't know and the expect and then your idea. But to me as a listener, my verdict is that the risk that you've taken, the experiment that you've done has definitely paid off. This is something so different from everything that you've done. Like it's so evident, and the producers obviously they've done such an amazing job. there's so many producers on here that I can't really take everyone's name, but Sherikim bro, this is so amazing. This is so beautiful. And if you look at the big picture for Malayalam hip hop, this is definitely something that is bringing the scene to another level. So I'm really happy for you, bro. We have known each other for a long time. I'm really, in some ways, proud to see the way that you have grown.
Thanks. I mean, like, definitely. I mean, like, it's my album, but still, like, I feel like everyone else has played like the bigger role, and like this album was very important. The reason why I didn't have any vocal feature was so that I could feature the producers themselves, because most of the time, these guys just go into the credits. Our name usually very rarely comes up to the front. So, by strictly keeping it as a no vocal feature artist kind of thing, I could easily feature these guys in along with the track title name itself. And I wanted to, like, go out of my way and like work with different producers that I've never worked with, and like putting out songs with them as well. So overall, this was like crazy, and like I've gotten to work with people who I look up to. Binox, Arcado, Jesur, and all these guys are like, under to cake, and like to actually have made a track with them is like something way bigger. And but yeah, like in general, this whole thing was crazy, and of course, the biggest shout out goes to Anjali, like putting all of this thing together and like making it all work. I mean, like every description, I basically write like this basic outline of what I want, and I send it over, and I'm like, so bro, can you put this like in a really good presentable format? I'm not a very good English writer. I'm present in another. So I send everything to her, and she's like, okay, and she does it like immediately. And then, I mean, she's definitely put in a lot of effort as well. And like, biggest shout out to her. One of the best managers, best manager I could get. So yeah.
Amazing stuff, bro. Album what time have you?
I uploaded this like 2 weeks ago. So if I remember right, it comes out in the evening, 7 p.m. or something, Indian time.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So till then, you guys can like.
Till then, I'm gonna, anyways, I have everything with me, so I'm gonna listen to it. But I really want to thank everyone who's actually stayed with us. We have almost done 3 hours. It's the first time I am doing something like this, and I'm sure Glenn is also, doing this for the first time, something so long. And to everyone who has actually, been a part of this journey, like from the start, a lot of you guys have always been there. So thank you on behalf of both me and Glenn and Anjali. Thank you so much. Like, it means a lot to us that you've actually stuck on for such a long session, keeping your things aside on a Friday evening. So thank you guys. Thank you so much, and truly enjoyed every bit of it.
Thank you to you too, man, like for doing this.
Of course, my brother. Of course. Like, we have, you are one of the reasons why I got into this whole scene. So I'll always, remember that and not forget my roots. So yeah, bro. Amazing. So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye from all of us.